Hello. Hello, hello. It's a terrible day for rain. I was gonna say, how are we doing, all the people who are not... not so deep in the VTuber rabbit hole that you are dying. Everything is... I need to go... rabbit hole. Yeah. Man. It's crazy. I wasn't even really sure. I was like, yo, we're gonna... Yeah, let's... this is definitely something I'm going to talk about. And it's like, I don't know, man. Just sad. There's nothing else. Still sad. Who knows? That's about it. I was like, man, do I... Oh, hey, look, the Diva's performing. Oh my god, is that my Monster Hunter Oshi? That's crazy! Yeah, let's swap screens. Here, you can also watch... Wait, if I do this... Wait, hold on a second. Stop moving around! I'm trying to put the Kutku where the Diva is. Oh my god! Kutku, my Oshi! Kutku, my Oshi is performing. Yeah, I don't know. Dumbass Rathian made me drop its egg. Yeah, that's kind of be how it do. I talked to my friend and they said, that I don't think there's another optional quest associated with delivering an egg or anything like that, so... Yeah, I don't know, man. I felt like I wanted to say, like, damn. Like, just in some way, in some form, pain Pecco as it will. Not for any reason outside from, like, I don't know, like, Gura kind of existed at the start of the VTuber boom, as it were, and, you know, I think was, for the modern VTubing audience, I think was the gateway for a lot of people, like Myth's success was very major for VTubing in the West, and it just feels fucking weird, dude. Like, that's mainly what it is it just feels very strange to be like, oh, we're 5 years in. Like, I was watching Pakora shortly before Myth debuted, and it's like, after that, so there was like the amount of time where I was like, sure, I'm just gonna listen to rabbit noises on my second monitor, to Myth debuting, to we are 5 years after that now. And also, it's so fucking over. Like, that just feels insane, man. I don't know. And it's like very weirdly sad, I guess. Maybe because it's like, these are the kinds of people that... It's so weird to say to I guess, mention out loud that, like, someone had an influence on you, right? But I don't know. I just think Gur is so fucking funny. Like, most of the time, it's just like, what is contextually, like, witty and funny that you can say literally right now at this moment and then just, like, move on like it was nothing. Like the fucking gallons clip, and it's like, oh, well, I hope you find them. It's like, I've lost gallons. Oh, well, that's too bad. That's crazy. Like, God. Just wish you could be that funny, right? Yeah, it's sad. I'm sad. I feel lame right now. I was, like, debating not streaming. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just...
Got everything you need, dear?
Just feel lame. I can't say I'm surprised considering your recent streaming schedule, or rather lack thereof. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things where people, like, you spend a lot of time going, oh, well, like, you know, maybe they're just, like, struggling with some health thing right now that, like, they'll recover from. Like, hopefully they'll, you know, go back to more regular stuff. But it just... You, like, wait for a long time, and then it's like, by the way, guys, sayonara. It's kind of like, well, shit. You know, I don't want to say that I'm, like, some crazy, huge Gura stan or anything like that. I just know that, like, I've definitely watched them. I appreciated their content quite a lot. They're in the category of people where I go, like, that person is, like, an entertainer. And I, like, this is not meant to be an offense to maybe, like, streamers as a whole or VTubers. And frankly, I consider myself in the same bucket, right? Like, there are people who are entertainers, and then there's, like, people who go live and play video games. So, I don't know, man. Obviously not every second of every single stream is gonna be a hit, but sometimes I'm like, the context of, like a fire clip, basically, right, is just the alignment of several celestial bodies into, like, the 0.5 second amount of time it takes for you to deliver a punchline, and then it's just, like, so peak. So, I don't know. Is there something wrong with going live and playing games? No, there isn't. Because, again, I'm in that category. I think if I truly felt like there was, like, it was really, like, not worth it, then I wouldn't be doing it. But I feel like it's important to make a delineation between, like, people who I'm genuinely impressed with their ability and people who I'm like, yeah, you exist, like, good for you, get your bag, you know, be with your audience, etc. But, at least in my personal opinion, I felt like Gura was, like, in a league of you being literally peak doofus. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I wanted to say. So, we're playing Monte today. Sorry, I missed this.
Come on over.
For some reason, I find it difficult to read your name right now. Ishikashi. You've been here before. But also, I don't know why it's difficult to recall or pronounce your name. But you can watch your streams while I'm off work. Sweet. Let's go. We're just doing more farming today, you know, going down the list as we have been for the last bit.
How can I serve?
So where were we? I think we were at... As you can see, there's a bunch of stuff that I could be making that... Yeah. What do I say? There's a bunch of stuff that I could have been, like, could be making here. That we'll get there when we get there. Actually, a set that I'm kind of concerned about is the commission set, because, like, I don't take the time to check the commission, and every time I do, there's no commission tickets. And I'm like, God damn it, come on. So I guess we need Guardian Rathalos Carapace.
I heard from the others.
Okay. Just like real life, no commissions. Haha, roll on drum snare. God damn it. I mean, that's just real. I was asked recently about, like, potentially doing a commission, and I'm like, I don't know what prices to cite you because it's been so long. So I fired it all up. I made a little bit of a like a prototype, I guess. Prototype model, proto model. Because this person wanted to use it as a webcam output. So there's a virtual webcam output thing in VTube Studio, so you can display it on like Zoom. Another thing that this has been used for in the past, which oh, the misery, if I could remember their name. I cannot. Someone has used an elf model that I made at one point in time to do D&D stuff. It's actually really funny. I was thinking, so here, let's start a quest. We'll do this. So my Monday game is a pretty brutal meat grinder of a game. It's it's pretty rough. It's pretty brutal. So the one character that I was playing, who is a bard girl failure of a character, who just wants to sit in the bar and drink, received her second, like, near-death critical wound, and I determined that that character probably doesn't want to adventure anymore. And this is relatively normal, because they... Theoretically, in that system, you could retire a character and basically, like, pass their EXP forward to a new character. So it kind of encourages you not to worry too much about, like, how lethal the systems are. Like, if you die a heroic death, like, you can also pass your EXP forward, so, like, in an act of selflessness, like, saving your party from the death trap that was gonna crush everybody, but you held it up with your strength for a number of turns, is, like, value. However, in this version that we're kind of, like, playing is a little more bespoke with how the GM is using it. That's not a thing. So it was just simply because I felt like I did not want to play the character anymore. I somewhat empathized with the fact that they weren't about it. We had a pretty successful haul in our most recent adventure, and she's probably like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm gonna... because, like, to put it into perspective, it's kind of like... Nope. trying not to die. Okay, I still don't have Mega Potions. Awesome! Let's go! Put into perspective, I think it's like a silver coin is like a week's worth of pay for a guard or something like that. And we came back with like thousands of gold and precious jewels and stuff. So, that character is like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay at home. I'm gonna just drink in the bar and tell stories of the, hey, our party smoked out and the mantises we destroyed. So this is all to say that my current character, we had a set of characters that were basically rolled for every party that we could recruit from and use. So basically we took advantage of the randomized character generation in the system and how it like makes hirelings and stuff like that. I don't fully understand how they did it, but we had a lot of template characters with the intention that, like, you know, many characters would die, or if you want to switch characters or whatever, if that's available. And I picked a character that was apparently a race of, like, they're like descendants of gods or something like that. That was like their description, is that they're like they're these like very perfect looking, like eerily superhuman looking kind of people. So of course I looked at my DM, and what I said was, because they asked for, the first thing that he asked for is always a character portrait and a name. Actually, no, it's not a name. What's the other thing? Because they already come with those. The other players already named the characters. But I downloaded the first picture I could find of Astolfo and sent it to my DM. And I was like, this is my token. You want peak male performance? Descended from the gods? Here is Astolfo. So I was thinking, oh, I guess, yeah, sometimes people use like live 2D animated character portraits for D&D. What if I like literally took this picture of Astolfo and then like live 2D-ified it? Because people do that. They take sometimes images and like cut it into pieces and then rig it. And I was like, I could just literally do that. I could just do that, and then my entire party could look at live 2D animated Astolfo while we're getting destroyed by monsters. So I'll let you know. I mean, I have a lot of stuff to do right now. I think it'd be really fun. Astolfos, like from Zelda? No, Astolfo from Fate. From the many different fates. Astolfo is a pink-haired anime twink who, on the table, against the wall, on the bed, on the ground, on the floor, etc. Flap, flap. Something rather. I just thought it was funny that the first... Thank you for the splash. I just thought it was funny that the first thing that came to mind when they said, like, godlike beauty, appearance, immediately jumped to peak male physique, and then and then I sent them a picture of Astolfo. Very funny to me. Okay, because I was wondering, like, why are you using a skeleton warrior from Zelda as your godlike beauty? Yeah. Oh, no, I was slightly far away. I was slightly far away. Also, yeah, sorry, I was rambling at the start, but congratulations on your order coming in, Cavalier. Happy for you. It's always nice to finally see that your stuff comes in. Your package arrives, as it were. I don't think I've ordered anything recently. I was, like, severely heavily debating whether I wanted to order, like, Gigi's birthday goods. But, you know, the general arguments of, like, what are you doing with your life kind of came up, you know? Not this year. Maybe next year. We'll do it next year. Yeah. Gravios is weird. Never fought him without ranged until now. Interesting. Yeah, his thighs are thick. They're thick, chunky thighs that are hard to get through. I don't want to use a different weapon. What do I want to fight Gravios with? Maybe dual blades? I don't want to play dual blades. He's probably weak to, like, water. I mean, I wonder if it's just, like, these dual blades are just the best. Like, if it doesn't matter. Yeah, let me check what the Monster Hunter Discord is saying about dual blades. While that's loading, what do we... I will forever enter the incorrect, the wrong thing. I don't want to change back to just being blue, sort of. Maybe. I really like how poofy the shoulders are on this. I'm just so sad you can't dye the important part of it. The center part. So funny. Who out here actually wearing Rompompolo? Oh, maybe my Discord just doesn't want to open at all. It's kind of funny. Just gonna stay closed. This is kind of cool. Ingot A. Just big, chunky. Oh, I was like, where's the short Damascus? It's literally just this. Do I want shoes? Oh, I won't be able to see it because it's turned off. You know what? We're just gonna go with no. We're just gonna say we're gonna wear this big chunky piece of armor and then call it a day. Oh, but maybe the Gypsyros A actually looks kind of good. The rest of it looks way too rubbery and weird, but... What is this? Wait, hold on a second. These might be cute. No, looks a little strange. Alright. That's way too blue. This one? There we go. Top heavy? Yeah, the one time in my life that I get to feel top heavy, honestly.
I was given a message for you. Yes.
Oh, let me actually see how much Gravios I have done, because I think we started it last time.
Anything catch your eye? Hello.
Need Crenadeth skulls. Oh, is that the only thing I need? Hold on a
Ready to
second.
get
Let
to
me
work? Alright.
let me just make these,
Ready to get to
because if I have all the Gravios parts I need. Flashbang.
Oh, perfection. Look good. Oh, perfection.
I literally just need Crenadeth pieces. That's so funny. Need 4 skulls.
Come back anytime.
I'll do that maybe on my own time. Let's fight a Guardian Rathalos.
Hello.
I have so many random shit investigations. I really wish these were sorted by target. I feel like that'd make this a lot easier.
Shall we get started?
Yeah, I can't change the color, right, of the shoes. They're very white. Probably not. This is okay.
Hello.
You plan on keeping that title misspelling until it's mostly eyes? Which one? That Fashion Hunter? Farming? Oh no, that's not there on purpose. Maybe I should. That's a good meme. That's a good bit. See, now I can never talk about it ever again, and you'll just have to guess. Oh yeah, I looked into that game. Well, I looked into it and then insofar as I saw people playing it and was like, I'm slightly concerned. I think it was Blueprints. So I didn't look into it as in I didn't watch any of the gameplay. I just saw that other people were playing it. It's not like this random ass game. And then it said puzzle game, and I was like, oh no. I might be too stupid for this game, you know? Like, I thought Outer Wilds was a little difficult. It's best experienced as blind as humanly possible. Yeah. Does it take particularly long? You know, that's a question that can be answered. I'm asking because you offered, by the way. And I was like, I don't know. I said I was very tired at the time. But if it's not like 70 streams, you know, I'd be down. But also if it's like a puzzle game and it's like, I was actually thinking about this a little bit recently, that I think I understand, like, I think I understand not necessarily my problem with puzzle games, but where I think I struggle with them. Which is very likely determined by, you know, how much like how conditioned I am basically from playing video games. I'll elaborate that in a moment. At least as far as I've gone, there haven't been any puzzles that are especially difficult to solve unless the goal is to do so with as little information as given. Yeah, so this is, I guess, what I was gonna say is that, like, I think my issue with puzzle games frequently, or like riddle games, if that makes sense, because I was thinking about this in regard to D&D, and like, you know, I struggle when D&D is too opaque, and like the goals aren't very explicit, so, you know, either fortunately or unfortunately, I don't necessarily mind. But in my Monday game, it's very... it's rather opaque. It's just kind of like, go do these things, and then, you know, if you have creative solutions to the problem, then you can solve them. But I think for myself, I really need, like, some... Like, I need to know what my options are, right? Like, it's hard for me to formulate something out of nothing. Like, the idea to smoke out the cave, for example, was another party member's thought, and, you know, it's effectively meta information to use scientific principles to basically perform a war crime, right? So they're drawing on an experience that they have seemingly from nowhere, and I find that rather difficult to, like, use random ass knowledge from somewhere, right? When the problem space is defined for me, and it's like, you know, like, be in this room. It's something about this room. And you need to know how to utilize the mechanics to solve this problem. Oh man. I even triggered adrenaline rush. So... like, I think to Outer Wilds, again, right? And then, like, there was the tutorial for, the, like, seeing things, like the seeing things that are quantum, and then, like, taking pictures of things that are quantum, like, keeps them stuck in place. Figuring out that part of the tutorial when it was kind of, like, a little bit riddleified, like there was a little bit of a riddle to figure out what that meant, that was extremely difficult for me, because I'm kind of dumb. After I've learned the mechanic, how to apply it in several different ways, in different areas, in different contexts, is a lot easier for me. And I find that part fun, right? Is to take, like, a knowledge that you have within a problem space and then, like, abstract it and apply it in different ways, right? Whereas I think maybe my problem is that when the problem isn't necessarily defined, like, the possibility of experiences or, like, aspects you could be using is just so vast. Like, there's so many things you could think of that I find it difficult to narrow down. I don't have, like, a very good or formalized approach to narrowing down when it's like that, so I don't know. You always have a clear goal. The best path, or really a possible path, isn't always clear, but at least I have yet to say what do I even need to do next yet? That's good. Yeah, I just wanted to be cautious because it's like, I think that there are people who like puzzle games or puzzle style things who are very, like, they're good at making those weird, like, connections out of nowhere, like, you know, I will use this as a descriptor, but, like, very, like, schizo board style connections that are like, okay, you found the connection between those two things. How the fuck did you do that? I have no idea. And I think I'm just not very good at acting within a, yeah, when it's too vague. And I say that out loud, and, you know, after saying that out loud, I think usually what my brain does with that, or what I do with stuff like that is, well, I'm gonna want to work on it, right? Like, the difficult part is trying to figure out what I can do, and what applies to a particular situation. And I guess maybe that's sort of how I feel with a lot of things. I don't know. It takes me a really long time to feel like I'm comfortable doing a particular thing. And the startup friction to doing any of those things is always kind of hard. And I guess I was trying to... I was, like, connecting that thought to... how I solve problems. Like, I have frameworks, knowledge. I guess maybe it's a perception thing. I don't know, I'll have to think about it more. But yeah. Yeah, I think that, like, attempting and failing is part of the process, for sure. But... welcome, Rance. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, you said, hey, what's up? And I'm like, Gura's graduating. That's what's up. I'm good. I'm distracting myself. How are you doing? We're talking about blueprints. And if it was a suitable game to play, because I'd feel really bad if someone was like, "Yes, play this game. Here, take this bribe to play this game," and then I just like really, really, really didn't like it. You know what I mean? That'd feel really bad. Now that I've set it up, I have a riddle, which one, I didn't know it's even needed to beat the game, and two, I don't know what it means. But yeah, I think I enjoyed, like, God, what was that game? The roguelite card game with the stove. What's it called? Inscription. Yeah, like, the first part of Inscription, I think, was, like, pretty good, because they were very explicit with their clues. Right? There wasn't much to, like, unravel. It was like, look at page 25. So you looked at page 25, and then it was like, don't read my comment name, don't read my profile picture, and you know what I mean? It's kind of like that. So, heard about that. Sorry for her fans from Mori, since I still watch from time to time because I like her music. Yeah. I also watched the Zatsu part of Mori's stream yesterday because I was like, just sitting in my chair doing nothing. It feels so lame to say out loud, you know what I mean? Because I think when I'm live, I don't necessarily... how should I say? As much as I meta-ify my cognition, try to talk about myself, I think the thing that I usually don't do is go like, yep, I was just sad today. I don't talk about, like, me, if that makes sense. Like, I don't talk about, oh, like I watched, which maybe I should more, honestly. I've been watching the Cyclothon. I'm trying to think of anything that really stuck out to me during that, but... PewDiePie got a Swedish flag from Connor. That was funny. I think it'd be funnier if he actually wore the flag, but obviously that's, like, probably kind of dangerous, so... Nothing wrong with caring about things, and you're always lame, so it's not a big difference. What the fuck? What the hell? Man. Yeah, I guess the thing that, like, was in my head, which is...
Well,
I don't know, man.
got something in mind? Shaybar.
It just puts into perspective the ever-marching forward passage of time, I guess. I was trying to find a good way to say that before, but kind of how I feel. The Crenadeth skulls still need 2 carapace.
Done already?
So I have to do that again.
The others. Yes.
I really don't want to do this one. Oh, this one gives a temporary gathering boost. I probably shouldn't have been doing that one then, so I can hold on to it. Hey, Destiny, welcome. Are you playing Monster Hunter? Monte Hunter? We are hunting Guardian Rathalos. That's probably going to be our next one.
I'm happy to help anytime.
You were taking a break. Understandable. Do you have a squad? I do have a squad. If you join... if you join the room, I can send you a squad invite. The funny thing about that... So, I really don't know... Like, I'm not sure about this. But... Like... The squad lobby is really good for people who joined the squad and getting together, like, quickly. But at the same time, I wasn't really sure if people, like, join the lobby, you know what I mean? Hey, Poi, thank you so much. I'm fine with it only being one stream if you don't end up vibing with it, or even 2 streams if you don't feel like buying it. This is just a dono after all. No, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I was interested in trying it. I just wanted to, like, make sure before I reached out or something like that. And I always appreciate when people can, you know, donate, support the stream, and like we can have new experiences because of it, because it, you know, I consider a lot of the things that I have in like my setup, for example, like there's a close friend of mine who basically sold me a Switch for like a very, very heavy discount, because he supports the streams and like supports what I do. And I consider all of those boons, so I really appreciate that. Yeah, let's do it. I'll try to do it at like a 1 p.m. slot, just so it's in your time zone instead of at 6. I want to do more later night streams because I feel like they're easier to just drift away into the night. But let's leave those for like Monhan. Just joined the lobby? Okay, let me send you a squad invite. We are here, I'll send it to both of you. Invite the squad. If you wanna... Oh, did someone just leave? I'm gonna invite you to the squad. Did I... Please don't do it at midnight. Of course not, of course not. Yeah, our squad is House Lyria. As the house is the house of the Lyria. Sorry, there is one more thing that I do want to say, I suppose, out loud, and maybe, well, now that I said it, I can't really unsay. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they were talking about, and I've been told this before. Okay, I've been told this before, but you know, they were talking about like the timeline of a content creator, basically. And I was like, damn, wow. What have I accomplished in that timeline? I felt a little bit inadequate, I suppose, but I really don't think, we were just talking about understanding the problem, making a problem space, you know, understanding the problem is very difficult for me. The understanding part, the first part, understanding, is the tough part for me. So, I feel like I didn't understand why. Maybe I still don't understand it too much, but that's okay this time. It's okay. It's a little different, but it's okay. I didn't understand why I was going live, what I wanted to do. I don't necessarily know how to replicate it, but hey, Rance, thank you so much for the dono. Oh my god, wait. Can you just retype? Can you retype that? Oh wait, no, you don't have to. It's a super. Okay, hold on. So previously, allow me to clap my hands together and say previously. So I don't have a Streamlabs alert box. I feel so bad because Rance very frequently donates to Streamlabs. How do I say this? Streamlabs is really good because it goes like, they basically like don't take anything, and it just goes directly to like your registered PayPal, where supers aren't like that, which is fine, just for the record. But I don't have the stupid alert box on my thing. I'm like, God, I need to fix that. That is actually something I should really fix. But yeah, how about we add watch along to the queue to be a Hero X. 2 episodes are out now. So, what are we saying here? Like, sorry, what's the squad? Did you join the room? Are you in the room? Can I send you an invite to the squad? Is this you? Are we saying, like, the season? Do we want to do the season? Oh, also, where can I watch it? And, oh, I was wondering if that was Destiny. So, Destiny, if you join the room, I can send you a squad invite. If you're in the room. Because we're not in a squad lobby right now. You can just join via the room ID, and then I can send you an invite. But yeah, so for Hero X, where can I watch it? Is a good question. And also, like, did we want to wait to watch the entire thing? Are we saying, like, first couple of episodes? Just to clarify. Just want you to try it out on stream like you did for Eren? Sure. Sure, I'd be down. I didn't publish a schedule, so the reason was I've been a little bit busy with some work and stuff. So maybe let's try and do that stuff. Yeah, for sure. It's just, so the thing that I'm down to do a watch along, I felt like, for me personally, that like I wasn't sure how interesting that is for like a regular scheduled Friday stream, for example, which is why I put them in memberships. It's really funny, by the way. My one friend keeps getting fucking recommended my membership content, and it's just like the picture of my thighs. It's so funny. It's like I didn't put time into those membership thumbnails because I didn't think anyone was gonna be looking at them. Because YouTube recommends your content, like shows your membership content to people to attract them to joining membership, which I don't think I have anything particularly impressive in there necessarily, just to watch along stuff. So we'll have to find time to do watch along. I'm actually wondering if we want to do it like adjacent to Fire Emblem, maybe. Like the weekend's a good time to just kind of chill. But yeah, we'll have to find a time. But yes, thank you for the supers, thank you for the donations and the support. Really appreciate it. And we can do more stuff, more things. That is generally associated with having funds to do things. So I started watching that Freerun show. How have you been finding it? You are allowed to say it's boring and you hate it. Okay, sorry. So we should maybe do some stuff. Let's do some things. I don't know why I clicked lobby member quests when there's no context for anyone to have posted anything. I need a Guardian Rathalos. Do we have a Guardian Rathalos somewhere in the team? That one looks pretty good. Do this one. Yeah, it's like a lot of gems and stuff. Didn't like it. Dialogue was very heavy-handed in the first episode. Yeah, I think the dialogue in Freerun is just very heavy-handed in general. Like, they will very explicitly say things and then very explicitly repeat those things. So I could see why that would be not someone's cup of tea.
Commencing quest by order of the guild. A supply shipment's come in. Hope you find something useful.
Do you need a Guardian Rathalos gem? I don't think so. I think I just need 2 Carapace. So I just have to kill this thing. I really like the moments where Freerun just shows the passage of time. Yeah, I think the music that goes with that. There's like a very specific track, I think. That's very warm. It's the one that plays when I want to say Stroll. His name's not Stroll. The one priest guy. When he just pieces out. It's like it plays there. He's like, yep, it's time to go. Yep. See you later. Oh, goodness. I'm just gonna wait, you know? I was thinking of approaching and maybe dodging or something. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna just wait. But, yeah, I think... It's like, I also just I also just, like, normally enjoyed Rerun, I think, as a show. Like, I didn't mind the dialogue being very explicit for what it was saying. But also, I think what I liked about it more was the, you know, greater context of the thing, I suppose. Or, like, the stories and stuff. Or, even, sometimes there's just, like, a line or two that makes you go, like, damn, man. Shit, dude. This guy is definitely a great character. Love his dialogue. Why don't you just start dating or something? God! Stein! It started with an S. I was thinking stroll. But that's, metaphor. But yeah, Stein. Like the... I don't know, the... Is he a dwarf? He's not a dwarf. Maybe he is a dwarf. But the guy who's like, I don't remember the face of my wife anymore. Or like, I don't even remember her voice. But it is important for me to protect this place. Because it was very important to me. It's like, shit, man. Like, come on, dude. That fucked me up. For real. But yeah, I guess, Rand, since you're here, if we wanted to do... So, important, because honestly, like, I don't really know how to say this, but, like, if I start a Crunchyroll subscription, I will probably forget it. So, are the current episodes out now? Are they, just viewable, or do you need a subscription? Because I think I would at least want to do like the first 2 or 3 episodes as like a segment, because that's like an hour, I think, of content to be sort of like in the brain space of that thing. Hey, got you, Destiny. Appreciate you. Let me, can I check the member list right now? Doesn't say you're in here, Destiny. It doesn't say you're in here. Did I? I'm gonna check something after this quest, okay? Actually, no, I'm gonna check it right now. Give me 2 seconds. Did I accidentally block you? That's my question. I'm gonna... Here, let me just... Give me 2 seconds. But yeah, because I'm thinking that this weekend would be a good time to check that, or do that. Squad members... It doesn't say that I have you blocked, and I really need my brain to work right now. Here, let me just put my lobby ID on screen, because I have it here. It's in the same spot as the room thing. Oh wait, what I could do is I could just copy this, and then I'm gonna paste this as the squad ID. You can join like that. Okay. Sorry, the reason I'm asking Rance about the weekend is that a time where you will be around so that you can be there for the watch along? Because I'm thinking we have the daybreak hunt to do, or not hunt, like the daybreak mission to do, and then we're gonna be given like a... Oh wait, no, we actually need to talk to everybody in the monastery now because we're gonna be post time skip. Oh, we're gonna have to do all of that on stream. But like, I'd be down if the first 2 episodes are out to like staple that at the, like after we finish that map in Fire Emblem, I'm going to die. On Saturday. So it's like if we do Fire Emblem for like an hour and then we do the watch along after that. Like, will you be there? Is that a time that works for you? I'm working weekends. I get off at 4 to 5. Is that like PST? Is that West Coast or East Coast? We can shift the Saturday stream back. Because I haven't published a schedule yet. I threw up. I threw up. Okay, next one. CST. 4 or 5 CST. Central Time is an hour behind Eastern. Okay. So something like 7 is better. On the weekend. I'm just wondering because the amount of time to do like the amount of time it takes to watch like a couple of episodes is like not enough for a full stream. So I want to like staple it beside something. I guess it would work for Monhun as well. Because Monhun is a easily stoppable thing to do something else. So we could staple it to a Monhun stream. Oh, I'm paralyzed. Sounds good to me. Okay. Usually Monhun is Monday, Wednesday, Friday right now. Is there like a day that's better? Day and time that is better. Off Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Okay, so Wednesday is actually a better one. Yeah, and the other question was, I guess I could just check it myself. I'll just check it myself in like 2 seconds. Because this week, so for reference, I have a D&D game that alternates on Wednesdays, so which is why I can't do evening for Wednesday every week as well. This week it is not it is an early afternoon stream as opposed to an evening stream. So if it was like later in the evening next week on Wednesday, would that be a problem, basically? Is what I was thinking. Okay, sounds good. So we'll probably just do like maybe like an hour of On Hunt next week, and then we'll start the other thing. Short anime break, as it were. Details. I want to know what orbs I flip. Oh my god, the Rathlos gave me like nothing. God damn.
Check your field pouch.
Magazine Iron Wall. It's probably good. I don't know if I had one of those. Oh, it shows how many I have. So maybe I already had those. Good element precise. I'm gonna sell all of these. No, you can convert them. That's fine. Okay. Did I get Carapace? I was not paying attention.
I was given a message for you. Hey. What are we making?
But also, if anyone else has a Guardian Rathlos, that's maybe an easier... Let me check first. Nope, I can make it. Okay, okay. We're done with Guardian Rathlos. Thank God.
Perfection.
Carapace is better than Apathy Apiss. No, it's Carapace. That needs Crendidat Skulls. So we're on Blango. The Blango set. All snowy. It's so strange. It just looks very weird. Why is it so snowy? Oh, is that because of the color I have equipped? No, I just...
Come back anytime.
Was it because I was Frenzy virused? Maybe that's why. It's because of gore, okay. So let me see...
Hey. Anything catch
Let me just, that's so funny that the gore effect ruins the preview. So funny. We need 2 Blango pelts. Yeah, that's not Blangonga, that's Blango. So, okay.
Ready to get to work?
Let me just make these.
Perfection.
See if we need anything else.
Perfection.
It looks like I need a Blangonga tail. Yeah, and a bunch of random stuff.
Perfection.
So we need tail, fang, and Blango pelts. So I'm gonna have to actually carve the Blangos. Basically. Did that guy end up joining the room? I'm so confused, man. I'm so confused. Why didn't they join? I'm so confused. Okay, it's fine. Everything is fine. It's all fine. Investigations. Glad you're checking it out. Been a while since I got so invested in a series. Like, damn, they also got some really cool trailers if you're interested. No, I'm down to just experience it by, you know, watching it. Me, Blangonga. There's a tempered one there. Hey, Rue, what's up? How's it going? How it be? Are you having withdrawal symptoms? Are you going to play Redacted? Which one is it? Was that the game you sent me, like, before? Or did you just send it to me? Oh, yeah, Oh, that thing! Shit. Yeah, that is actually something that I want to do. Yeah, okay. God, why? Well, actually needing to make time to do things. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to do that. I haven't looked at it yet. I guess next week is just gonna be like not Monster Hunter. We're gonna take a Monster Hunter break next week, I suppose. Kind of, sort of, but yeah. We're gonna do a couple things next week, I suppose. So, Blueprints is on there, and wait. Hold on a second. This game is called Blueprints. Like a blueprint? Like it's a play on words on blueprint? Is that what it is? Cause that's hilarious. I know nothing about the game. Also, no spoilers. I haven't looked at it. I've avoided every stream. I've not looked at it, and we're gonna play it. No spoilers. But like that just clicked in my brain. Wow. Blueprints. Wow. That's crazy. That might be an indication of your puzzle skills or lack thereof. That's very funny to me. Yeah, so we'll need to do that. Yeah, we have a few things. God. I was thinking recently, like, I want to, like, I want to focus on a couple of projects that I would like to get done, which means I need to think less about other things, and it's like, nope, here's just some shit you should probably do. Oops. That was cool. Here's some shit you should probably do. It's like, okay, understandable, understood. Task has been understood. Do all these things. Thank you for reminding me, though, Rue. I'm gonna be honest. I just forgot. My brain just like turned off. You know, honestly, like, I might even do it this Friday because I didn't publish a schedule. Which again, my apologies for not publishing a schedule, but I might do that thing this Friday. Despite the fact that I wanted to more consistently play Monster Hunter. We need that Discord for real, on God. Yeah, I mean, the problem, though, is that, like, I just wouldn't check. Right? Like, I wouldn't... Like, I have an alt account for stream Discord, and, like, I just don't... I don't go on that thing, you know? Like, I remember Cavalier sent me, like, a meme for... Cavalier sent me the soundbite of your hunter saying, "Good boy." And, I didn't see that until, like, 5 days after it got sent to me. I need to carve this blanket. Oh, we also need its tail. I want to, like... I am playing Hunting Horn. I cannot cut the tail. Colossal bone? To be honest, I'm surprised you didn't mention anything weird about the soundbite. Wait, what do you mean? There's nothing weird about your hunter saying "good boy" and adding your face. I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you, by the way, but like, it's like very intimate when someone touches your face. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I was expecting something like a goon to calves hunting. No, no, no. Of course not. I would never say that I gooned to that soundbite ever. That'd be ridiculous. There are many things that I would admit to, but there's also several that I would simply not. I still need like 2 more Blango pelts. Damn, these Harabami are freaking backing up into this corridor. Shard is so cramped. Yeah, this place is just... Whoa! I didn't realize there was, like, stained glass over there. That's cool. I guess I didn't think about it, but yeah, this place just looks like a cathedral. Wow. I just, like, never noticed that. Wow. Crazy what happens when you look around for, like, 2 seconds. wish the cliffs were properly big enough to fit Jin the Hot. Oh, Jin isn't in the cliffs. He's chilling in the weird cavern and stuff. We could have Gameth? Yeah. Let's see, whiskers. Do I have any tails? Don't see any tails. Imagine being a game designer and not appreciating the design of the game. Couldn't be flawed. Well, see, this is the problem, is that, like, the art isn't the design of the game. Like, this isn't game design. This is art. Art design. Art people. The decision to include an abandoned desolate structure for diegetic storytelling, because the entire rest of, like, this place, so Wyveria and all that, like, the decision to do that in order to indicate that this is a lost civilization is game design. I just didn't notice it. Additionally, that when we get to master rank, if these places, I don't know, maybe it's weird time travel bullshit, you know, where all these places get restored and, like, this is going to be an actual cathedral where we're hunting monsters, which will feel really weird. Like, I don't know. The decision to do something like that would be, like, design. Yeah, I guess the other thing, too, would be, like, designing these spaces so that they could fit a Gormagala and then without clipping through the wall would be a design thing. But also, clearly, the designers were dumb. Because their stupid Gormagalas, bah. You can't farm me for clips. You can only farm me for...
I heard from the others.
I'm gonna stop myself for something else. I don't know. I do find it funny whenever people are like... design is like... How do we say it? Design is literally like one of the, I think, most misunderstood things in, like, where your role is in the development of a game. And part of that is because it is a relatively new field, and part of that is because, like, usually if you're working... Okay, well, I'm gonna make a bunch of generalizations that I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. This is usually hearsay, and also, like, the history of what I have done on projects. The very, very, very few projects that I have been a part of. If you are doing design, you're also kind of expected to do a little bit of everything, usually adjacent to programming, because that's, like, the thing that... Wow, that's surprisingly lewd, that upskirt. Because I know those are shorts, but they look kind of... Like, that looks a little sus. It looks sus when you look at it. I'm gonna be honest with you. So... What was I saying? Yeah, usually you have to do a little bit of everything, but it's not like... It's usually not a physical manifestation of something that is, like, in a game. Like, this... The actual art of the bell, or the person who decided to make the Rathian bell look like that, was, like, an artist, not... That wasn't, like, a game design decision, you know? I think I just need to do another Blangonga. So I guess the thing that I find funny is when people go like, "What were the game design of this game is so bad," and they're talking about like the art, or they're like, "Wow, how do you not appreciate the design of this Slay the Spire mod? Like, the art is so good on the cards." It's like, it's not design. I don't have to look at that. Like, the art is pretty for sure, but like that's not even like in the purview of what we're talking about. Like, we can appreciate it. We can appreciate the art, and I would, you know, take how do you say? Yeah, can always appreciate, like, making a game asset that works within the confines of the game you need it to work with. Like, I think about the Shion mod, for example, right? And here's the interesting thing to me. If we go in reverse, so we're going to analyze this in reverse, because that's all we can really do when we're not the actual designer making design decisions for the mod, is that this person likes sexy anime women. Okay? It's very clear that when you look at the Shion mod for Slay the Spire, this person likes sexy anime women. That mod is probably really popular because there are sexy anime women in the mod. And then you kind of go like, okay, well, the role of design is to think of, like, what is the intended experience and what do you get at it? Like, what is actually there? Do the decisions support what the intended experience is? If the intended experience was to show you sexy anime women, several different sexy anime women that are extremely well drawn, because my understanding is the creator is an artist of the Shion, was my understanding. So it's like, this is a mod to showcase my sexy anime women art, then, and like have everything look very pretty. Like there's all kinds of graphical adjustments, like custom map layout, whatever, tons of things on screen that just look very thematic. Like, yeah, they did their job. As far as gameplay is concerned, I don't know, man. I thought that shit was really confusing and made no sense, and all of the scaling was like 1%, 0.1%, like completely ethereal, like percentage damage changes that make literally no sense within the context of Slay the Spire, right? Like, so does it succeed at being a sexy anime girl mod that people will agree to? And was that probably the point? Yeah, great. But it's like, it felt almost completely unplayable. To me. It felt very opaque and not very understandable. Anyways, this android is not sexy enough, and it looks plastic as fuck, so the game will fail Wait, why? If we can see from these depictions of these depictions of androids in Nier Automata, and we can see, like, it's just there are this many works of art of 2B from Nier Automata. Like, it's just so we think that the design of the androids should look like this because people like 2B because she's sexy. You're talking about the average marathon criticism? I'm not sure I understand. What do you mean by marathon criticism? Oh, it's a game. I haven't seen this. Is it, like, good? You need to see that shit? Is there, like, a trailer or something? Is there a trailer, or is it, like, gameplay? You jump back in, you're killing one of my monkeys? Sorry, I did the class. They're both okay. Thank you. I was like, I did the classic thing. This is so funny whenever I do this, by the way, is that I ask, like, chat question and then immediately offer, like, a secondary answer to the question, and then I can't tell which one you're answering because I asked So I appreciate you telling me that there are both. I don't know, do we watch the... Which one do you think is more egregious? We could go react Andy and watch some gameplay. But to be completely fair, I think my React Andy content is terrible. Arguably very bad. Who knows? Maybe I haven't had enough time to cut it. Maybe that's the main thing. No, get back here. Monkey. Still need 2 Blanco pots. I vote neither. Shit is generic as hell. You can see what Asmon Gold Derogative and Legendary drops say about it. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna... I don't know if I feel the need to watch, like, another creator's opinion on it. I mean, I'll start taking other creators' opinions on things when they start being good. I don't think we're gonna be able to kill this in time. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm still 1 Blanco pelt off, because I think I just got a bunch of Colossal Bones.
I was given a message for you.
It's like Destiny with more neon and geometric shapes. When did we start? We started at 1 today? Or 1:30? 1:15, I think, actually?
I heard
Yeah,
from the
1:15.
others. Right.
I just, like... I'm being serious when I have a lot of things that I should be doing, so I... it just... I need to be mindful of the time. Because I do kind of want to watch whatever this marathon stuff is. I'm curious, but also I don't want to, like, start reacting to something and then not have time to do some more hunts. So, I think... Yeah, I think I can think of a timeline that we can do stuff. I'm going to see if I can make these Blanco parts real quick.
What are we making today?
Because I think I want... Where is it? I think I want this Blanco stuff. The chest piece.
Ready to get to work? Alright. Perfection. Perfection.
Still need tails, fangs.
Look good? Perfection.
Yeah. Tails, fangs, tail, pelt. That's a Blanco pelt.
Come back anytime.
Okay, let's do this again. And then after I finish the Blanco pieces, we can watch some stuff. I mean, Rue, can you, like... Is it a thing that I can ask you to send me some links to trailers of this game so that I can watch it? They're children? Let the hate flow through you. KMS, sure. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Wait, what? I was just, you know, I don't want to, like, because there's several trailers, right? So I don't want to, like, open the cinematic trailer and be like, where's the gameplay? You know what I mean? These monkeys deserve it. They should mind their own business. Oh, hey, Avilia, welcome. Here, I'm gonna send you an invite to House Lyria. You can do whatever you want with it. You can wipe your ass with it. You can sniff glue. You can do nothing with it. But I think, like, once a week, probably, or can I? There we go. I want to do, like, a squad lobby specific. And then on the other days, I want to have, like, a public lobby open. So, there it is. There's your secret key. Your ticket to the... That's so bad. That's so bad. That's so awful. We gotta get to the... We gotta get to the flower parties, you know what I'm saying? You know, we gotta make at least 10,000 at the flower parties. Probably not something I necessarily want to joke about. You sending you malware? Quick, destroy the computer? Yeah, you're gonna have at least 5 dancing anime girls on your screen in all of 2 seconds. Bonk. Dope. On my way. Incredible. Cinematic trailers 8 minutes and gameplays were uploaded by people. I see. Did the cinematic trailer have gameplay in it though, or like I don't know. Maybe it would be better to see the skill up. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I'm a React Andy noob. Oh, video you uploaded that contains both. So, like, I'm just not good. That's what I'm gonna say. That's my general thing. I'm not good. So, I'm curious to know what will happen if I watch a video that I have not watched and I can simply just react to it. I don't know, man. I am unfamiliar with Skillet, just for the record. I do not know who this person is. I spend a surprisingly low amount of time consuming content on the internet. Like a shockingly low amount, I think. Like, I watch like 10% of a GG VOD. And then, like, go back to gaming. Oh hey, you're also like in an angel dress. Cute. Australian Taragan! Oh my god! Rude, people are gonna get the wrong idea. You can't use tone indicators every time for Taragan. Game journalist, but he's sometimes on point and relatable. Okay. I mean, if your vibe check on it is that it's pretty good, you can take a look at it. Again, I think React content, like, genuinely, is something that I wish I could do, like, better. Like, it's something that I would be interested in doing and wish that I could do, like, well. I think my general problem with any kind of React content, some kind of, like, very opinion-based or needing to react to someone else's opinion is that, like, I think people are very locked in to... Oh, wait. Sorry, I think I didn't carve any blankos. Were there blankos over here? People are very, like, locked into the... Like... the social zeitgeist, if that makes sense. Whereas I feel like I am not always the most plugged into that stuff. Like, I think people are very, like, involved and very in these things a lot. So it's like, I didn't even know Bungie, like, released a game. You know what I mean? Like, I would probably know that because someone told me, not because I found it or I care what Bungie is doing. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see if we got enough to, yeah. I appreciate that, Rue. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I do think that there are people who do React content well, like genuinely. I think there are people who they pick good spots to like pause, have an opinion that is worth saying out loud, and then like can flow in and out of that really well. The reason I'm saying this is because like I genuinely don't feel that. Like, I don't think I understand very well how to do that, so... Let's see. I love our DMs are really unhinged and cool. Are they unhinged and cool? Is... Is thumbs upping mildly lewd GG art considered unhinged and cool? Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. ZSD is the greatest attack ever conceived. Gonna pump so many monsters so hard. Yeah, man.
Yep.
You discharge on those monsters for real, for real. Let me just see if I can finish this Belango stuff. Wow, I got nothing. Why do you need, like, 5 tails to make this shit, man? What the hell? What is this, dude? Oh my god. Here, I'm gonna equip, the Gunlance. Better than sending straight up porn, I suppose. No, see that? Yeah, but that one was commissioned by you, and I'm... There is literally no good way for me to say... Like, I cannot add any other context point. Like, I will say... I can't say anything. You know what I'm saying? You can't add anything. You literally can't even imply anything. Outside of saying, like, thank you for commissioning that. I really appreciate it. Damn. I hope I find my gallons. Oh, man. Yeah. That's gotta be the best. We gotta get at least 10,000. For legal concerns, I will not refer further on the topic. Yes, I mean, you know. It's a shame, Rue, that the the one that you got done, which is very good, isn't in the tag, unfortunately. It's not there for the other Lyrilytes. And I was like, I can't do it. You know? I'm not doing it. This is what... I was gonna say this is what the Discord would be for, but, like, not really. Alright, let's get this done. I would not feel comfortable having an NSFW tab if I had a Discord, to be completely honest with you. Or is it? Is it on the tag?
Good to have you.
Weak? Listen, man.
wants Alco's help. Good to have you.
We could make the server R18 in general, just for safe sake. Well, the thing is, it's like, is there a tail cut? I believe so. I've just been focusing on its head, so I'm gonna, like, actually... Oh my god, it's been so long since I played Gunlance. I just don't want to have to, like, say, for example, it's like an AP Plus server, and just needing to... Like, you can only do the best you can, right? But I guess what I'm saying is, like, it's just such a hassle, dude. Like, I don't have to think about it. Like, my... I guess, maybe it's similar to YouTube, but it's like, my YouTube is set to, like, should only be viewed by, or what's it called? Not for children, which is the obvious delineation. But I think that means, that's the most that I can do. I don't want to have to be personally responsible and liable, you know? Which, it's really funny, though, that the only people who have, I think, we've only had, like, one case. Remember that guy when we were playing Ender Lilies? That shit was so funny to me. Not Ender Lilies, Ender Magnolia. Who was literally, like, I don't even remember how it happened, but, like, they just 4K'd themselves as, like, clearly being 14 or something, and I'm like, dog, you should not be here. Like, you really gotta... This is not the place. Oh, parabola! Literally not knowing what a quadratic was. Yo, that shit's so funny. That was so funny, dude. Oh, man. Holy shit. It's like, you have to ask a question, like, do you know what the periodic table is? And then, if people don't know, they get banned. Sorry, guys. Just gotta curate the community, you know? Gotta make sure you at least have high school general diploma. Yo, that was crazy, dude. That's so funny to me. But let's be honest with ourselves. You just shouldn't be watching YouTubers. Honestly, if you are a minor, it's just not a good idea. Not a good rabbit hole to go down.
Nice work, Hunter. Let's head back.
Apparently one of my, like, cousins, something like that. It's like a, like, extended family member, basically. Definitely not this one. Like, no tail, or... Oh, wow. The inner armor looks so cool. Was, They were talking about how they were making, like, VTuber references and stuff. And, like, mogging, like, while making VTuber references, and it's like, damn. They're cooked, dude. It's over. You really should not have been exposed to VTubers at all, really.
I was given a message for you.
Speaking of, I've heard things about Gooba.
Hey.
Yeah, we talked about it at the start of stream. And, I'm very sad.
Your eye?
Loss of the Goober is certainly, it's certainly a time. It's like, damn, man. That's crazy. Big sigh.
I'm ready to work. All right. Perfection.
You're so blue and flat.
Ready to get to
Oh
work.
my god.
All
I could
righty.
never.
Perfection.
Gura is literally the GOAT. I could never even
Now that's a
come
good
close to being as funny.
choice. Right.
I think I need to do one more Blango, and then we'll react, Andy, to some marathon. But yeah, it is a sad day. I believe I started this stream by saying it's a terrible day for rain. But it's not raining. I'm out of Blango still. Shit, I don't even have a Blango. Someone else want to post a Blango? We need like one more. I just need like a Fang or something. Back in my day, we talked about the absolute worst shit as kids. VTubers are a step up. I'm inclined to agree, but also, like, I would still never, you know, suggest to anybody, you know? Anybody? You do the optional Blango? Yeah, I could also do that. Let me see. No Blancos? That's okay. I'll just do the optional. I need, like, one Fang. Like, literally one Fang. Sorry, I went for water. No problems. I am, like, one material away from probably being done with farming for today, and then I'll check out this marathon stuff, and then I think I should get back to work. No cosplay of your avatar? I've done a couple before. I change it up. I had a bunny. I really like the bunny girl outfit, I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope they make better bunny girl outfits, so that that outfit can improve. Yeah, I mean, I could change into it. Okay, I really need to stop using the Under Armour with a skirt. It's very rude. I keep feeling like I'm getting flashbangs every time I get turned over. Yeah, I don't know. I'm supposed to add, because there are more people who... you guys mentioned it, so I can talk about it without feeling bad. I did watch the announcement live, and I don't know. There's clearly like an amount of, like, you know, anxiety, sadness, whatever. Like, whenever you hear that in, I think, like a talent's voice, whoever it is, like any streamer, entertainer, your friends, family, it doesn't matter. Like, whenever you hear that, I just feel so bad. I'm like, fuck. It's so bad. I think when you can hear it in someone's voice, it's pain. I don't know if I'm just sensitive to that. Monkey. Yes, this is Monkey. Welcome, Sable. This is probably going to be our last Monkey. We're going to watch some... We're going to attempt to improve our skills at becoming a React handler, so that I can eventually one day become the React commentary VTuber that I've always wanted to be. That is to say, I can just upload 50 minutes of me talking and people will watch it. Forget needing to be entertained. Just literally watch something and yap shit about it for 50 minutes. Man, who needs content when you can just say stupid shit? Oh, man. Oh, my God. See if we can finish this Blango set. How's it going? It's going. It's going good. I think we just finished our next set, which is nice.
Anything catch your eye?
Hello. And there was something that I wanted to do. Oh, did we?
Ready to
I
get to
hope we
work?
did.
Perfection.
Oh, did that spawn a headpad? Is the bot not working? Wait, hold on a second.
Look
Right.
good.
Wait, but the splash worked? Did it disconnect or something? Yeah, the splash was working before. Platforms, YouTube account, auto connect. It's currently disconnected. It says the bot is connected, but the broadcaster's disconnected. But the thing is, I got splashed at the start of the stream, so it was working. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get it working again. Okay. It's signed in. Give it a second and we'll see if it works again. Okay. Don't really want a ZSD monkey ass. Why not? What's the problem?
Fit you to a T.
People are basically just monkeys, right? Okay. I will forever and always go into the wrong thing, change appearance. This set has this, which is very pretty. And I wanted to... Where is it? You said previously that there was like you made like a cheerleader outfit. I think that's cute. Oh my god, dude. Without the tights is like, it's dangerous, dude. This is danger. This is dangerous. Discovery Channel. I agree. It is, I do think it is cute. Sometimes simple things are just, they're just cute. Okay, so, that's probably going to be it for hunting today. It's been about 2 hours, and I want to get back to doing some other stuff, but I did want to check out this, thing that Rue sent me, and we'll do a little bit of React content. It's gonna be 2 seconds to, like, mentally prepare myself. Once again, the upskirt is very lewd. Inappropriate. We close this. We got sent some stuff. Assuming this is the...
Always proud to do a shout out for this video.
Yeah. Always proud to do a shout out to this video sponsor. Oh my god. My fucking... Dude, my recommended. All of the shorts are just crazy bad. Told you he's violently Australian? Yeah. I think I need to mute Monster Hunter. I mean, I could just close Monster Hunter, because we're, like, done for today. I think I'm gonna do that. So thank you for everyone who joined me for hunting and stuff. I appreciate your help, as when I'm playing, I am moderately to highly distracted. So, I appreciate that there are people who can jump in and just wail on things while I'm busy getting my ass kicked. So thank you again. I'm going to close Mon Hun. I'm going to hide this. This. I think I had it full screen theater mode is what the React window is designed for. Let me save and quit. And let's attempt this. I mean, this is like 28 minutes long. Surely I don't have to watch the entire thing, right? Let's hope that, once again, I have this set correctly, because I'm always scared. It's not needed? Okay. We can cut it in post. Properties. This one. Okay. Let us... Oh. We act. Face?
Sponsor Lost
Okay,
and
there we
Cult. They specialize in thoughtfully designed gaming books,
Adge.
music collections, and other collectibles, all
Adge.
designed to
Oh,
celebrate
Outer
the
Wilds.
unique art form that is video games. Their latest design works collection is based on the visually striking cult classic
Man,
Valhalla, cyberpunk bartender action.
Sorry, I really like boxes that open like that, by the way. They're just very satisfying. My, what's it called? My card box that I put all of my decks in to get you hyped, watch the official trailer. Okay. If not, enjoy the money. You have me on Twitter, right? You can send me stuff on Twitter, Rance? Are you able to pull up the trailer for me? Just so that I like have the right thing open. And thank you again for the donations and the support. I appreciate it. Ad reaction. No. But like, you don't understand. I freaking love boxes that open like that. You delete Twitter. No worries. Don't worry about it. I'll see if I can find a trailer. Can you just tell me what the can you like give me the exact title, or just like type it to me in YouTube chat and I'll check it.
And you can get a nice discount on it when you use offer code SkillUpVA11 at checkout. Click the
Damn.
link below to grab it now, or stick
That's
around
crazy.
to the end of the video to learn more. Marathon. If you are clicking this video, you probably have 100 questions about Marathon, but you probably have...
That's incorrect. I have 0 questions about Marathon.
One big one. Is it enough? Is it enough to deliver Bungie from their prolonged...
Listen, man, I really don't know what to tell you, but like, okay, so let me just... I'm so fucking bad at React content. I hate this shit whenever, like, I understand that this is the content that people want, right? They want content that's like, you got questions about this game that you looked up, you want to know, like, is this enough to do, like, to get Bungie out of the hole that they're in? Like, is this good enough? It's like, no, I don't fucking care. I genuinely don't. Just tell me about the game. I do not care about the greater social context about what this has to do with a company that I don't give a shit about. Stop it.
long period of disruption and uncertainty, a period marked by layoffs and restructuring.
A period of uncertainty, of layoffs, of, you know, it's really gotta, you know, you just, like, the zeitgeist, the social zeitgeist, guys, the social zeitgeist. I mean, no offense to this person, by the way, because I am a tiny ant of a loser beneath their shoe. And, you know, they're doing their content. It's just, I don't know. It's so annoying. I find it annoying. This is probably why I don't watch people's content, right? It's like, the zeitgeist! Duh! How is Ubisoft gonna beat the allegations this time? It's like, what the fuck, man? The history around the game, the development, the layoffs.
infrastructure and a complete upending of Destiny's future development and business model? Is it enough to succeed Destiny as Bungie's next big game? One that will spirit the studio into a new decade of game making the same way that Halo and Destiny did when those games launched? Is it enough for Sony, who bought Bungie?
How much longer is this intro? I'm gonna suplex my computer, dude.
For $3.8 billion, a price that now seems astronomical given how the studio has fared since then. Sony are not only nursing Bungie on their balance sheet, they're also nursing a very black eye after the failure of Concord and the cancellation of a number of other live service titles. With that track record behind them, Sony really needs Marathon to be a big win. They desperately need Marathon to be enough. Setting aside all those very loaded questions about the legacy of the studio, the commercials,
At least they acknowledged it.
And the crushing weight of expectations, there's a more fundamental is this enough question, and it's this: is this game enough for us, the people who might want to play it? And hell, who even are those people, since an extraction shooter is hardly the sort of experience that's looking to recruit die-hard Destiny fans. Bungie is looking to build an all-new audience here, in a genre that is already pretty well serviced by a number of great games. Set against all of that, is Marathon enough? Well, I've got my own perspective.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing about whenever someone says, like, you know, why are you making a game into a market that's already saturated? Like, they already have, as a condemnation of your mental sanity, it's like, yeah, extraction shooters already exist, for example, right? Or, you know, I think particularly in regard to live service games, you have a gravity to people who use a service. And this was discussed a little bit with, like, my peers, right? Is there's the idea of the gravity of a social media or a gravity of a live service game, which is like, how are you going to get the people who are playing Helldivers 2 right now to play your extraction shooter? Like, how do you even do that? And I don't think there's a lot of good answers to how you will actually do that. Sometimes you could, like, target your release for a downtime of one of your competitors or something like that. But like, those things are impossible to plan for. Like, what's a good time for you to hopefully overlap with when a customer base of a particular game goes down, such that you can introduce this new extraction shooter to them? Like, it's possible. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know how successful that necessarily is all the time. So that's not generally the lens that I take with it. It's usually like, what actual reason is there for someone to play this game? Like, if you compare something like, think of Lethal Company, right? Lethal Company is this kind of like funny horror game, like get the stuff, get out, pseudo infinite gameplay roguelike game, right? And then you have Repo, which to my understanding is much the same, same kind of skin and bones. But the conceit of Repo is that there's like a bunch of movement mechanic stuff and hiding, is my understanding. Like, there's physics-based movement and hiding. Like, it's very mechanically elaborated on. And like, moving stuff around, I think, is supposed to be also very difficult. And it's in the vein of those games like Phasmophobia, those like get in, play a little mini game, and then get out. But there's a clear reason why you would play something like Repo, is that like you can engage with these like unique systems that people actually like look at and go, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like, let's try that out. It's also like a little goofy. It has some personality showing with how the how the bots are, they're just like these goofy round things, right? So there's a reason to play that game. So I guess to wrap it all back, I don't really know if I care too much, or like, I don't really like when people say, oh, well, it's oversaturated. You could say that Phasmophobia was oversaturated when Phasmo just existed. It's like, this game already has like a very tight gameplay loop that is like asking you to decipher the like what ghost type this thing is, or what spear, whatever. I don't know the different types of things. It's like this party game that you can play with your friends with nigh infinite amount. But the question really is like, what is the value that you bring that is different than your competitors? And for me, from the design angle, I really want to know like, what are the unique mechanics that I get to leverage as a player that are fun to interact with, that are fun to engage with, right? Repo is like a more fleshed out version of Lethal Company, evolution of one another, and that's the kind of people who will give you a fair chance for familiarity. Yeah, exactly. So you want something that's familiar. Obviously, we know what an extraction shooter is, but like, what is what is the experience? That is the important thing. Like if I think of Hunt Showdown, I go like gritty, slow paced, like highly lethal extraction shooter. That is a very like easy thing for me to picture why people want to play it. Whereas a game like this, when I compare, you know what's actually really interesting about this is I thought about this when Concord came out, because my understanding was that Concord's gunfights were actually very chunky, like they were very, very slow. And I actually thought that it was interesting. Like, I thought that that was actually unique, and I wasn't sure if it would be good or not, but I said, oh, that's actually kind of different than maybe a game that it's like more highly lethal, like has very fast firefights, and like you're kind of in and out of combat like very fast. So I thought, okay, well, that's different. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. So feel like concepts, even if overplayed, if you have a clear vision, can still feel unique. Like Marvel Rivals is a good example. Yeah, but this is the thing: is that you might go, okay, well, there's brand familiarity, which is maybe part of like why Marvel Rivals is fun, but like I didn't play it for too long, but there are some like relatively unique characters in that game, right? What was the character that I played who had the sword? Like she felt. Are there characters that are like that from like I'm just not super familiar with the hero shooter genre, so maybe that's like a lot more of an established character than I think it is, but that seemed kind of different. Is it different or no? Anyways.
Perspective on that, since I got the chance to play Marathon last week. Bungie invited me to their studio in Seattle. They generously offered to cover my travel and accommodation costs, but I declined, choosing.
Yeah, magic. Like, is there a sword wielding melee character who has like a relatively like you have this like weird combo system thing that you need to manage? Like that feels like a unique character that you would play the game for. But I don't know. Maybe the dash is very similar to the melee guy on the gunfight is Reinhardt, and the Demon Knight on TF2 or like Demolition Man. Is that? Yeah, it's like it's a combination of those two things. But like, do you see how even if you abstract those two, like you can see this is this influence and that is that influence, but when you combine them and have to figure out how that gameplay all fits together, how it like drastically changes what it means to play that character. So that's kind of what I mean. So let's say you do extraction shooter, but it's what would be, I don't know, what would be a unique thing to do in an extraction shooter? What if you do an extraction shooter except there's like a high degree of verticality? Like every person has access to like a jetpack, and I don't really know. Okay, how would you mitigate against height advantage? So everyone has like jetpacks, but there's also like this layer of fog that makes it difficult. Ooh. Okay, so extraction shooter, jetpacks, there's like high buildings and stuff, but there's cloud cover, and the cloud cover is one way. So people below you can shoot up at you, but people above can't see below. So like it's an opportunity cost to go above because it basically like shows your position to everyone below you. And then maybe like every area has like 3 tiers or something. So the people below you can always see your position of the people above you. and it's non-symmetrical. So the people at the bottom have an advantage of how they want to approach you, and if they know the building layout, they can do something like, oh, we're gonna go by these stairs to ambush you when you get to the other part, you know, something like that, right? This is a completely half-baked idea. I'm not saying this idea is good, but do you see how, like, that can be an extraction shooter, but there's this, like, overarching system for you to engage with, right? That's the important part. It doesn't matter, like, is that idea in and of itself good? The point is that, like, extraction shooters have a whole bunch of, there's already context. People already know what the genre is about. So what is the axis? What is the unique gameplay that you bring that matters? Like, changing what guns you have available doesn't necessarily matter that much. Like, the sight scope, how pretty it is, like this, what's it called? This thing here, like ammo system, like this UI, you want it to look good. You want it to be pretty. But that is not the core experience that someone is going to fall in love with. So, like, I don't know. I just don't really care too much about what I've seen so far because I don't necessarily understand what's happening yet. So, an extraction shooter where every time you die, you get teleported to another dimension, only losing a random amount of loot, but not also you can still farm, do all, and have stakes. Yeah, isn't that like God, isn't that the one for Call of Duty? You get teleported to a pocket dimension where you, like, fight people and get, like, isn't that what that is? Yeah. Magic, and there's unique mechanics with characters like Loki, who can heal and create clones of himself and copy ults. Yeah, so, like, that is a... No, you still lose at the end? Okay, I see. I understand. Yeah, Loki... So Loki is another one of those characters where, like, purely by the existence of this character in the game, you completely change the dynamic of how people are going to play, right? Something like Reinhardt as well for Overwatch is like, well, this completely just warps how the game gets played because you could just have someone who just holds a fucking shield when you're defending a point. Like, it completely changes how the game is played. So,
using instead to pay my own costs so that you can be guaranteed truly independent coverage. So, what do I think about Marathon and that big question, is it enough? Well, I'll be totally honest with you and say that I don't think anyone can give you an answer to that question right now because, much to my surprise, Marathon isn't as far along as I had hoped it might be, and while I really enjoy many parts of it, the gaps in it made it difficult for me to get a sense of how this is going to launch, and it made it impossible for me to predict where this one day might end up. So at this point, you might be like, uh-oh, what you just said sounds really bad, so I want to really pump the brakes here so no one gets carried away. Marathon is not doing the Concord thing, where the first time we play it is like 2 weeks before it launches. Marathon releases in September of this year, a full 6 months from now. It's getting its first external alpha test at the end of this month. 5 months before its official release, people will be playing this game and giving feedback to Bungie so they can iterate on that feedback. At the same time, there are 300 developers working on this right now, and 300 people can get a fair amount done in 6 months. In addition to that, there were significant portions of this experience that I was not able to test, namely a playable map that wasn't available to us during this playtest, and another map which all the Bungie staff are hyping up massively, going as far as to say is it has like Destiny raid-like mechanics.
okay, so I just think that this is really funny because I don't know why people say these things, I guess. And I'm talking from the dev angle, which is, it's so funny to me, man. Whenever you're like, yeah, get hyped for the future. No, but this is the funny thing, is get hyped for the future, but you're telling that to your playtesters. Like, that doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. God, I don't know. Every time that, I don't know, man. I'm always warned about the things you should not care about, the things that are not in the game, right? Like, I'm talking very specifically about when you playtest something, like when you are giving a playtest out to somebody, right? You can't just be like, oh, but like this feature that's not in the game is gonna be like so good, man. It's like, it's not there. When you're making the playtest, you are trying to get particular things done. That it is important for it to be focused. Like you go, how is the gunplay? Like that is a very targeted question. It is not about whether there is a map here or not a map here. You can ask about specific things on the map that they tested. Like when you were approaching this complex, did you have ways to approach the complex? Like on a scale of 1 to 5, do you feel like you could make strategic decisions to approach this complex? Scale of 1 to 5. It's not about like, was it good? Yes or no? Well, you'll be really excited about this new map that we have later. It's like, do your job, man. Come on. So I guess what I'm saying is that the fact that this person is commenting on this, maybe it wasn't actually part of their playtest, just to be completely fair. They could have just been excitedly talking about something that they personally were excited about, and I understand that there's that passion to want to share something that you haven't completed yet. I actually understand that a lot. I feel it very strongly. But at the same time, for the context of someone who is like early reviewing your game or trying to like figure out the mechanics or something, that feels like very strange that this person is even commenting on it. You can already see how distracted this review is, right? Where it's like, okay, tell me about this game. And they're like, I don't know, there's stuff that like isn't there yet. And it's like, but what about the stuff that was there? Which is not a criticism of this person, but was just I've seen people do it before, is what I'm saying. I have like sat in a playtest. I've seen other people comment on like, oh, well, once we get that thing done, it's going to be so good. And it's like, and then it doesn't get done. It's about having people say how much they love it. That's what the Dustport devs told me. Oh, God.
In it. We only got to test 4 of the 6 runners that'll be available at launch. We obviously didn't get to test every single weapon and mod. We couldn't properly test the bounty system. The list goes on and on. So when I say it's hard for me to answer, is this enough? What I'm essentially saying is I've not played enough of this, and the game is still deep in development. So leaping to
yeah, again, this is huge problem. Like I just don't really know how else to say it. It's like, well, what about all these other things I didn't get to test? It's like, well, what about the things you did test? Right? Like that should be where the focus is whenever you're making like any kind of playtest. It should not be about the future. It's about what build do you have now and what is happening in that build. Right? Like I look at something like this screenshot, right? You know what's funny about this is that I could see someone opening this screenshot and being like, man, the yellow paint goes crazy. I actually think it looks pretty cool. I like the aesthetic of like crazy saturated colors telling you where to go. My dumbass brain loves that shit. Unfinished game is unfinished, duh. Yeah, and it's not about unfinished game is unfinished. It's that your focus as someone displaying your game to someone who's playtesting it should not be about the unfinished parts of the game. As you're saying, unfinished is unfinished. Like, yeah, obviously. So, like, when you're showcasing it to someone, it shouldn't be about what is unfinished. So.
Conclusions at this point would be unfair to the game and to Bungie. Having said all of that, I walk away from my time with Marathon feeling good about some things and not so great about others.
That's a really good point, Rance. Bringing out an influencer to basically advertise or early review your product. Like, while I think that that's true, I still think the way that you would frame it when you invite someone is not about talking about the future, right? Like not telling people about, oh, there's all these things that we wanted to do. Like it doesn't, I still think that doesn't do well. They invited like 300 influencers and they're the main info. Well, okay. So let me walk it back then, because my lens was that this is like a formal playtest that they want feedback on. So let's instead assume that this was an advertising run. I guess my thought is that when you invite people to review your game, I kind of want you guys to consider something, which is that it doesn't matter what any of these people say about this game unless it is very genuinely negative and pointed at something that is like very bad and a reason you should avoid it. Like, it's simply not fun, right? So if someone played Concord and they're like, no, Concord just isn't good, and these are the reasons, don't play it, I don't recommend it. Unless they said something like that, any amount of people who have watched this video, the video of any of the other 300 influencers, that is all gravy for advertising. The fact that the thought is even in your head that this game exists, they have already succeeded. Like, dead ass. There is someone who talked about this, and their eyes, it is now in the zeitgeist. So frankly, like, I don't think it matters too much. Even in saying, like, the meta context of, oh, well, I don't know what to say about it because there's new stuff in the future, like, could get like, that might get certain people excited about the future hope of the game, because there are a ton of people who just go like, oh, well, the game's going to be better in the future, and then that's going to rope in a certain amount of people. And then there are going to be people who are like, oh, it's like this other extraction shooter game, and like, I kind of like this, but like, I didn't really like that. And then the people who respond to, oh, they didn't really like that, but I like that about a game. Like, it does not matter what they said. It literally doesn't, because your reaction to what they said about reviewing the game is going to generate thoughts in your head and like push forward the advertising, so to speak. I guess I might be overvaluing the power of bad press. Yeah. So I'm agreeing with you, Rance, is what I'm saying. Is that bad press is good. Like, you can have good, bad press. And I would go insofar as saying it doesn't even matter if it's negative press or bad press. Like, any kind of press that is medium to good to bad to whatever, it'll probably help them in some way, which it might have been why they did this. So their plan was just want to rumble around the game and then they hit it out of the park. Yeah, they could have just given them like a relatively medium build of the game, and then when they launch it, if people like actually like it during the alpha, if people really truly enjoy it, then maybe that's good. So if what they heard was, I don't know, and then they test it themselves, and then those people go like, hey, I heard about this game because they heard about it from somebody, so now they know there's going to be an alpha test. You know how this person mentioned that there was going to be an external alpha? So now we know that there's going to be one that we can participate in. That person's going to participate. They're going to see it for themselves. And if the game is good, those people who came from the initial wave of advertising are going to say, this game's actually pretty good, you should give it a try. The next beta test is going to accrue more people. And then the linchpin of this is that the game is actually good. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, I agree with the advertising lens. I just think it's a little unfortunate if there's a playtest, that the focus becomes on stuff that isn't there, because I think there's usually the heart or the powerful parts of a game can be, you want those to be outlined at the very start. So it's very clear to people. But if you kind of just gave them a mid extraction shooter, like, I don't know if you're doing yourself any favors. So,
as you'd expect, the gunplay is top tier, meeting the industry-leading benchmark that Bungie has maintained since their inception. What you might not expect is how good the enemy AI is here, with NPC enemies providing substantial challenge that make them much more than just resource sinks or noise traps. The visual design is an acquired taste, but in my personal...
I would have liked to know a lot more about, like, what they actually mean by the encounters are fun to play.
View, it is incredible.
I'm sure they'll get into it.
I absolutely love it, to the point where I want to make it my personality. It's amazing. I can't get enough of it. Sometimes a setting and a visual style can be just enough to pique your interest in something, but in the case of Marathon, I expect that it's going to be more than enough for a bunch of people. Most importantly, that extraction loop is here, and it's working. I think it needs a lot more work to get it feeling truly unique, but as a starting point, I will tell you that Marathon is a fun game that does serve up those butt-clenching moments that you hope for from an extraction shooter. However, as I mentioned before, I did find some of the gaps in this surprising, given that Bungie have been working on this for over 4 years now. As it stands, there's really no new player onboarding experience. It's kind of just like a 5-minute tutorial that teaches you the absolute basics before shoving you out into the main menu and wishing you luck.
I think that's a good thing, though. Right? People are kind of sick of overly intrusive tutorials that you don't really want to play. Is that wrong? My understanding was that people like do not like tutorials or like overly pushy tutorials. It's kind of the zeitgeist right now.
The game's narrative is, right now, not really written yet. The narrative team were clear that the narrative framework has been built, aka how Bungie plans to tell a story in Marathon, but that story itself is apparently going to be written between now and launch. Bungie have also made clear that we should also...
That's not necessarily true, just for the record. When they say that the narrative framework is there, it's kind of like, it's very likely that they have the narrative already written to some degree. It's just that they didn't want to tell them. Obviously, right? It's just that the argument that this person is making is that, like, oh, well, the narrative, if the narrative isn't written now, like, how far along is it going to be in 6 months? Like, I severely doubt that. Like, I think stuff like the major events happening in Helldivers very likely were planned before Helldivers was released, or like several months in advance. And mind you, I give these companies a lot of credit, just for the record, because I know that like the planning and production process for this stuff is very complicated. So I'm giving them a lot of credit. For all we know, it's not the case at all. I would just be very surprised if you didn't start writing any of the narrative. Like, that's like pre-production shit, dude. Like, you would absolutely want to know what the general story of your game is and like what key beats you want before you invited 300 fucking like 300 influencers over. That's crazy, man. You can do great tutorials that aren't dressed as such, like the first 3 levels of Portal. Yeah, for sure. And it depends on the context of the game, because this is an extraction shooter. So, like, you don't have 4 levels to teach the player all the nuance of an extraction shooter, right? My understanding is people want to know how they can interact with the game, how they can interface with the game, and then they get to figure out everything else about it, like what guns they like to use, what guns are good, what things they should be picking up. Like, all of those value judgments, the devs already probably know what's good and what's not good, or like what the intended dominant strategies are. But the actual figuring out of that stuff, like, who you never know. Maybe you're like, oh, this gun's supposed to be pretty good, but then like the community doesn't gravitate towards it at all, right? And then you go, okay, sure, people like using this weapon instead. Like, I guess so. It's not like everything's within expectations all the time. It's just that, like, that part is fun for players to figure out. So you're not gonna go like, hey, by the way, the sniper is really good at sniping people from far away. It's like, they'll find a sniper and use it. Like, you don't need a tutorial for that. 4 years may seem like a lot, but if you learned anything from working on stuff, you don't know how long it took then to even get out of the concept phase, especially if it's a big company. Multiple different visions is a thing they have to deal with usually. Yeah, exactly. 100%. So I think people really don't have a good sense of like how much hell pre-production is. Where you go like, well, what if we do this? And it's like, well, what if we did this other thing? What if we used blocks? What if we didn't use blocks? It's like, it's not, I don't know, man. People complain a lot about player onboarding in Destiny 2 not being good. Might be related to why you mentioned it. That's fair. That's fair. And I'm completely unfamiliar with the onboarding of Destiny 2, so I have no idea. But Destiny 2 is like a Memorpoga, right? It's I think MMORPGs really rely a lot on community onboarding. Like a lot. Like I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to figure out a game like Final Fantasy 14 without anyone teaching you anything. Like there's no way, man.
To expect a very found lore approach to storytelling, less focused on cutscenes and characters, and more focused on world building and narrative delivered through factional bounties. For me, personally, I walk away from my hands-on time with Marathon glad that I played it, interested to play more, but I also walk away with two big questions. Number one, where is that hook that makes me want to play Marathon over the other extraction shooters that I could be playing, or over the other competitive experiences out there right now?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying at the start, where it's like, what is the actual unique part of playing this game that people are going to care about? It actually, this is like kind of a cool shield enemy, by the way, that they're fighting. So like, I think maybe just if the like AI encounters are fun, right, that could be enough. Right, you're basically just playing like a pure PvE game at that point. You know, if because you could say something like, "Oh, well, what about fighting the monsters at Monster Hunter?" Like, it's very generic, right? If you think about it, you go, "Oh, these are like the same monsters that have been around," but it's just that the core loop of fighting those monsters is so fun. So I think that that could be a selling point for this game. Like it doesn't have to have any flashier other thing. It's simply like they said the game is fun, right? So if it's just clean cut, like fun encounters, there's like a good variety of those. Like I don't know, that's the entirety of Helldivers 2. Like what else, right? There was also that one robot that could strafe dash earlier. I saw that. That looked kind of cool. So if there are enemies that are varied and fun to fight, that is fairly unique for extraction shooters, as far as I know. Yeah, exactly. So that like that could be it. Who knows? I feel like this game is getting too much middle child syndrome with everyone saying Destiny this, Destiny that, Destiny is freaking dead IMO. Yeah, I mean people are gonna make comparisons all the time, right? And I guess the thing that you know, the parable, it's not parable. The saying is that comparison is the thief of joy, right? And I try to take that actually fairly seriously whenever looking at games like this, because people are going to be like, oh, Star Rail and Genshin, or like, oh, Genshin and Wuwa, or like, oh, what about fucking Destiny and this other game they're going to make? It's like, unless you're getting the exact same experience, like it is the true successor, so like Dark Souls 1 to 2, 2 to 3, unless they're truly like in sequence, this is the next thing, like I don't think you get a lot of value out of doing that, to be completely honest with you. Would I trust the Monster Hunter team to make a new action RPG? Absolutely. Do I think that it would be comparable to Monster Hunter? Like, fuck no. Genuinely. Like, it's just not valuable to you. So, like, don't do it.
In my time with this game, I was enjoying it, but I couldn't feel that thing that made me go, yes, I can see why someone would want to devote their life to this game. I just couldn't feel that, and so I'm still waiting for it. The other question I had was, is it a good idea to charge a premium price for this? It's launching with 6 runners, 3 maps at launch, and 1 extra map in Season 1. Is that enough content to justify the price tag? Is this experience compelling enough to pull people away from alternatives, many of which are free? Bungie says they want to build this game in collaboration with their community, and I fully support that ambition. But if that's the case, then I don't think you should be charging the community an entry fee. My gut tells me
I've actually wondered about this, is like where people stand on like free content, I guess, because I think that there are there's the market expectation of how much like a game is worth, for example, right? So I think you could say that there's an argument against Concord that like they wanted to charge money for it. But the other thing is that like Concord didn't look like it was a very compelling game to a lot of people. So I think that if the game is good, people will pay money for it. I don't think that that's like that big of a problem. Also, I think saying something like, oh, we're going to build this along with the community, like, so what? You're not expecting players to play because you're expecting, like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Because you're saying, like, oh, well, why are you charging people if you're expecting their help? It's like, well, they're not expecting your explicit help. They're just asking for your feedback, and it's voluntary. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Like, that feels strange to me. So it's like, well, yeah, if you enjoy the game, just be like, I don't know, is good. I don't like this enemy. It's kind of like it's beneficial to you because it's like curating your own house or cultivating your own house. So if something's bad and you don't say anything about it and it continues being bad, then what the fuck? Them telling you that they want to build the game with you is saying, like, we want to be receptive to feedback. And I think that there are genuinely some companies who are, like, not receptive to feedback. Like, they're very obstinate. In Master Duel, is Max C banned yet? No, it fucking isn't. I'm sorry. Is Max C banned? Can someone tell me? My understanding was that it is still not banned. So, yeah, it's like, that shit is not banned. So, I think that it's important for them to say something like, we want to be receptive to feedback. But also, people do kind of want some, like, free content, you know? Max C, the Grim Reaper that comes for us all. Oh, man. As a consumer, you want everything to be free. As an enterprise, you want $1 billion per unit sold. The fair market value is somewhere in the middle. And I think I agree with that. Like, I don't know, man. Because I genuinely think, like, even if you charge something like $10 for this, and then people were, like, really, really passionate about it, then you're like, yeah, man, like, go pay $10 for it. Like, how much was Helldivers on release? Wasn't it, like, $30 or something? Because I was surprised that Helldivers wasn't, like, $80, which is why I bought it. So, you know. All characters but skins, you're only going to get a very few for free. Also, you get the battle pass for every season. It's not a gacha. Yeah, so it's like, what part of the game do you want to monetize? And, like, to be completely honest with you, like, a lot of people want things for free, or, like, some people, like, again, they get confused when they see something like Concord, like, all the competitors are free, so, like, why are you charging money? And I think that there is a good argument to be made for how obstinate people will be. Like, you're basically increasing the friction it takes to convert a customer by putting a price tag on it, especially when the expectation is that there isn't going to be. But what I think it really boils down to is, like, is it a good experience? Because people will want to pay money for it, if it is. Welcome, Kindred. We're just doing a little bit of react. Well, reacting to Marathon existing. So, yeah, I think the bottom line is, like, is the game good? And as long as you're not charging too much for it, I think people will want to pay money. And you do need to be thinking about what part of the game do you want to monetize, like, when you're making a game like this. So, oh, and the other thing was, if you saying that they're receptive to feedback is, like, a pretty generic statement. And I don't think that has any kind of expectation about, like, whether or not you'd be paying money or not paying money for something. Like, I don't think those things are correlated at all.
Tells me that charging a box price for this is a very, very bad idea, but I would be delighted to be proven wrong on that front when Marathon launches later this year.
Okay. Is it just like, is there going to be more stuff after this, by the way? Or just, because I saw there was like 20 more minutes, so.
Okay, so let's spend a bit of time talking about what exactly Marathon is, and then we can start talking more specifically about its individual components. Marathon is a straight up PvP extraction shooter. Before I went into this preview session, I had wondered if Bungie were looking to do something more ambitious with the extraction shooter genre. I wondered if they might be using extraction as a foundation for a more persistent, social, story-driven experience, something that might bridge the gap between PvE and PvP, something that might appeal to Destiny players who are, by and large, a PvE-focused audience.
I think that's a good observation, is to say that, like, well, if you have a customer base that is interested in one thing, that maybe some overlap, like not going too far in a different direction, would actually be a decent thing. Think of. You can drop it at 15 if you feel like you've had enough. Okay.
If any of those things do exist in Marathon right now, I didn't see them. As someone who's broadly familiar with the extraction subgenre, this felt pretty familiar. There is no social space to run around in with your friends, collecting bounties, maintaining your gear, etc. The game is entirely driven by this menu screen. One option lets you view and select your runner. We'll come back to that.
I really wouldn't expect any social features to be done for an early playtest. Definitely not. There's no way. Like, what, you want fucking, like, Genshin houses in, in 1.0? There's no way, dude.
Very soon. Another option lets you tinker with your loadout and buy gear from the black market. The final option lets you look through factional bounties and factional progression, which is just, you know, more menus. Now, obviously, it is very normal for extraction shooters to do exactly this.
Also, I want to mention, by the way, that, like, I think that, how would I say this? I think that the mention of those things, and people I think do this a lot, this is a weird point. People a lot of the times will do this thing that I call giving ideas that no one fucking asked for. That is how I'm gonna say it, okay? Listen. This is so bad. It's so bad because they literally just said we're open to feedback, so obviously these are all good ideas, whatever. But it's literally like, okay, this sounds like a good idea, but also, like, why? Like, if you have, think about it. If you have, like, 1 million people and they all went, what do you think would be good in the game? And they all say something different, you're fucked. Like, there's no way, man. I'm trying to make this shit not explode and being kind of playable. I don't have a fully coded Animal Crossing endgame for you yet. Exactly! That's what I'm saying, Rue! That's literally what I'm saying, man! That's what I'm saying. They were a thing in Destiny? Yeah, but I don't, like, that's fair, that's fair. So the expectation is created in one game and therefore brought to the next game. That's actually fair. But the actual, I have no idea how much code this shares with that other game. Like, to be completely honest with you, I have no idea, man. And also, aside from that, I think it would be, I think having spaces to navigate that people can feel like they're in, I don't think it's fair. I think that's the actual reason. No. That's what I'm saying, is that, like, it's fair insofar people to bring an expectation to another thing, but, like, it's fair for people to have that expectation, but it's not fair to actually place that expectation on another game. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying is that having an extraction shooter with some amount of social play to it, I think would be cool. I think if they could take those menus and put it into an area, I think that'd be interesting. I'd be curious to know how much people actually want to engage with that stuff. I would want to use heuristics from, like, other games that have those spaces. Like, what percentage of those player bases use those spaces, and try to, like, make some data on it. But, like, I don't know, man. I think that abstracting those menus into a little area that you can run around in, as someone who runs around and yaps all the time, I would love to have an area where we can just run around and yap. You know what's actually a good example of this is all of the different systems in Monster Hunter that care about you going to each individual village. So the forge where you break down materials, going to the different places to get food. The traders get abstracted into just, like, using Nata later, but I think having spaces for people to go to that they could be like, ah, yeah, I'm in this city and I like going up to this menu to do this thing, and like just that like short bit of time to like think and navigate to the next thing, I think is nice. I think it's a good experience that you can make or curate. It's just that, again, if it's not there, like that's internal feedback. That does not need to be like, it's like your expectation is that this is like some social game where they have social features, probably abstracting from the fact that Destiny was an MMORPG that has social features and stuff, which is like where that's coming from. At the same time, let's take a step back and think about, but why? Right? This is the way that a game could, like, you could make a successor to a game that's like, okay, well, we have all this baggage from the previous project to bring to this game, but it's just like realistically not the correct solution. Like, it's just not the idea you want to do. So I'm just saying, this is the ideas literally nobody asked for paradigm. They're decent ideas though. I would totally pitch those if I was a dev.
With the exception of The Division and its Dark Zone, no other extraction shooter that I can think of has any sort of interactive social space where you can...
Yeah, sorry, and I cut them off, but like, again, very good point. That like, if you're looking for unique features to make you feel good about this game in particular, like you want those features that can draw people in, so reasonable. I'm expecting the female robots to have a huge server rack, and they don't. This game is 0 to 10. Hilarious.
Can hang out with other players, or interact with factional NPCs in person, or visit specific vendors to get certain items or services.
Yeah, these are all, again, they're all great ideas in a vacuum, but like, it's not clear to me that that is what they're focusing on. That's just the lens I want to bring to it. And I think that when people go, like, when people pitch these ideas, they're just, in a way, trying to get people excited about things. Right? It's like, well, what if that was there? Or like, wouldn't that be cool? And that's like a fun thing to think about, I think, as far as a YouTube video is concerned. But I think realistically, like, they're like, I don't really know how to say this, but like, certain gacha creators do this all the time, man. And they're like, hey, what if we fixed your game by doing this thing that I want in the game? And it's literally that meme of the like barely disguised fetish. It's like, this is just gacha as a slur. So it's literally a picture of this author's barely disguised fetish, and that's the entire meme. And it's literally like, well, what if we did this in your game? It would fix the entire game. And it's like, said you, the one content creator. I don't know, man. It's kind of like, I don't know if that necessarily would fix. So I think the main one that this goes to for me. Sometimes it's fucking propaganda. Sure. For me, the one that really hits home for this is the like, Genshin players need more resin. And it's like, no, they don't. Genshin players do not need more resin. If you give, like, it's a very delicate balance. Think about all the people who are playing Genshin casually, like once or twice a day. And then you're like, okay, here's more resin. Like, are you fucking kidding me? There's no way. You would have players dropping left and right, dude. Also, like, let's say, okay, well, what if we just made it so that you can craft more of those, like, resin jewels? Because I think there was a limit on those too. Like, an inventory max of 5 or something. It's like, well, what if we had the resin doubling thing so that, like, well, then that needs to match the rate of the resin that, like, the extra resin that you get needs to match the amount that you put into. So it's like, well, you have to up that to 8 or something. But then you go like, okay, well, how long is the play session of someone who, it's like, are they doing 8 dungeons? And then like, how many salarymen have we lost by increasing the resin rate? Like, I'm just not confident. That's all.
So this is, broadly speaking, par for the course for this genre. But again, this is exactly the sort of thing that I thought Bungie would take a swing at as they look to step into this genre and put their own unique stamp on it. Bungie is a studio that puts social at the core of their experiences, and social...
Hello? What? Wait, what? Really? Halo single player adventure game? Social was at the heart of that? Are you serious? What? What the fuck?
Definitely lives at the core of Marathon's gameplay since it is tuned as a 3-player game, but it might also have been really interesting to see how that social aspect could have been delivered outside the core gameplay as well. So before diving into that core gameplay loop, I'll just briefly...
Listen, all I'm saying is that if you gave a lobby space to League of Legends players, just because there's like, there's a queue system with 5 people. If you had a League of Legends space where people could like wander around as League of Legends characters and talk to each other, all I'm saying is that entire space is going to be just slurs, man. Like, it's not going to be good, man. Listen, have you seen General Chat? It is not good. It is not good, man.
Describe everything else that sits around it. So Marathon is not a hero shooter, but it does have heroes, essentially. You play as a runner, which is a 3D printed synthetic that houses your consciousness. That runner has 2 abilities and 2 passives, and in combination with your loadout choices, you will be able to shape your own playstyle.
So it's a hero shooter.
More on that later. The loadout screen is where you can equip up to 2 weapons, mods for those weapons, a grenade, as well as various core things and shields and implants, all of which provide you various stat bonuses or gameplay perks. You also have a backpack where you can bring whatever you please, but you'll most likely be bringing ammo and consumables, leaving as much free room as possible so you can collect as much loot as you can when you head out. There is a black market shop where you can buy ammo, consumables, and low-level weapons. However, as you unlock factional rep, the offerings at that black market will improve, meaning that later in the season, you'll be able to buy more interesting stuff, so you're not always starting every round with the lowest level.
Yeah, and is that normal for extraction shooters? Having access to like a preset stuff with like factions and stuff like that? This fucking hi-hat is gonna give me an aneurysm. It's not, people don't call Rainbow Six a hero shooter, and that game also has characters with unique abilities. All right, I'll take it. Sorry, I just look at, like, here's a character you can play with 2 abilities, and I go, like, yep. It's basically a hero shooter. It's close enough. Apex is close enough to being a hero shooter.
Level weaponry and gear. By the way, the gear you equip does not have any cosmetic qualities. This is a game that will have a cosmetic cash shop where you buy skins, but Bungie weren't talking about the game's monetization at this point, so I have nothing to say. The faction menu is where you'll go to collect faction bounties. Now, these are important for a bunch of reasons. Number one, Bungie says that these bounties will be one of the primary storytelling tools that they use, though they didn't really elaborate on that. These bounties also give you specific goals to work towards when you drop.
Hero shooter has become the default verb for a certain kind of mechanics, and that is grid. Yeah, and to be completely clear with you, like, we've talked before about how inane I find definitions, and it's like, Elizabeth, tactical shooter, hero shooter. I thought tactical shooters were only first person, but I was, God. The most recent Seth video was like a top-down tactical shooter. So I think tactical shooters are defined by how noise and navigating, like, there's intricacies to how you navigate the space that are important, whereas in a game like Apex you are mostly just busting doors down and it doesn't super matter. And right, and like hero shooters are usually more closer to like the gameplay of Overwatch. Like, I understand, but I'm just, you know, it's a meme. It's a meme, you dip.
Onto a map. I had one bounty where I just had to, you know, block a certain amount of damage with a runner's shield.
What the fuck? That's crazy. Intravenous is what happens when Hotline Miami mom and Rainbow Six dad loves too much and they make hot, steaming, baby-making segs. The game actually looked like it was fire. Just for the record. I just don't think I would ever play it.
That was the only one I could unlock, actually, since bounties seemed to be on a daily timer, and the rest of them had already been completed when I sat down at my test PC. One of the big questions you might have about Marathon is, what is the meta progression like? If you're unfamiliar, extraction shooters are almost entirely predicated on the threat of losing everything you bring with you when you load onto a map. So if you have a bad run and you lose all your stuff, what are you taking out with you to make sure you feel less bad about that? And are you unlocking permanent gear or stat upgrades as you go that makes it easier and or more interesting as you get deeper into a season? So there are two answers to that question. Bungie has made clear that we should expect cosmetic unlocks that celebrate account milestones, and those will carry over season to season. You'll keep those permanently. In terms of player power, everything you do in Marathon, from killing an NPC to extracting with loot, will earn you experience, and that experience goes towards factional reputation that then unlocks nodes in this factional progression tree. These nodes all provide you with some sort of benefit that is permanently applied to your account for the remainder of the season, and it's things like, you know, more buying options.
Remainder of the season. So it's going to be like a seasonal meta progression. Is that normal? Again, I'm very unfamiliar with this genre, but that sounds like a... If it's very grindy, I could see how this would irritate people. So...
options at the black market, faster revive times, faster ability charge rates, etc. At the end of a season, all of your progress in these factional progression charts is wiped, and all of the loot you may have collected during a season is deleted. Every season resets everyone back to square one, and it's one of the many reasons that I suspect Marathon will hold very little appeal to your average Destiny fan, because you can't get these people to give up loot they earned 6 years ago that they've never even bothered to equip once. It just sits in their...
Crazy base take. Man, me looking at people in Dungeon Fighter like, yo, have you disassembled those epics from fucking 2 patch cycles ago? It's just sitting in their save. The loss aversion is real, dude. But it's a completely different genre, right? So, I don't know.
Vault. So how do you think they're going to like having their entire arsenal deleted every 3 months, or however long a season ends up being? So that's basically everything that exists outside of the playable experience. Now let's take a look at how all of this works when you get boots on the ground.
This is got 3 more minutes.
Marathon is very deliberately designed to be a 3-player co-op extraction experience. You can squad up with 2 other friends, or you can be match made to fill a squad of 3. You can turn off squad feel and go in solo. However, Bungie were emphatic that the game is not tuned to do that. There is no solo only queue, and the enemy NPC patrols and the PvE challenges are tuned for 3 players. So yes, you can go in solo and do all of this stuff on your own, but you're not meant to do that, so you should expect a significantly more difficult time. After queuing, you will drop onto a fresh map at the same time as every other enemy player. Bungie were tinkering with the idea of having persistent maps that players drop in and out of dynamically, but they very rightly decided that extraction game pacing is very dependent on that opening window, when you know that other players are also going to be at the edges of a map moving toward the center. That means you can't join a map after it's been active for 15 minutes or whatever. Everyone starts at the same time. When you arrive at a map, there is one overriding objective. Get as much stuff as you can into your bags and then extract with it. The stuff you're collecting can be weapons, consumables, gear, materials that are used to purchase nodes in that faction progression tree, and Bungie is also hinting at some lore or story items being extractable as well.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this maybe with the idea of like accounts resetting, because I saw Rancel's maybe saying something about it. I'm not sure that that's, for me, my rank being reset is okay. I still have my skill with a hero, etc. My weapons and progress have to start from 0. Why keep my skill have to grind to get similar power? Not bad, just not for me. Yeah, and I think this is the important thing, is that if you go into a game with the expectation that your stuff is going to get reset every, like, 3 months, right? Like, people play PoE, right? And that game resets and has new seasons and balance changes and they change stuff up, right? So, I don't know, maybe it's funny to say people play PoE because maybe they don't anymore, I don't know. But my understanding is that, like, the fun of an MMORPG is to get, like, the newest height of power and, like, newest, and you're trying to be at the peak of whatever the gear is at the time. Whereas for an extraction shooter, it's probably more about, like, going in there, seeing what you can get and getting out, and then that's contingent more so on your skill than it is on the meta progression unlocks. Like, for someone like me, I would think, okay, if the faction gives me like 5% more CDR on a skill, like, what is that realistically going to do for the macro scale at which I play this game? For a reference, I was trying to clear Helldive difficulty in Helldivers with like tier 1 upgrades. Like, my meta progression in that game is not very far at all. And I was still trying to do like highest difficulty solo stuff. So realistically, if the numbers aren't too oppressive, I don't think it's that huge of a deal. And I think if players go in with the expectation that their stuff is going to reset, then like it's not a huge deal at all. I think more importantly, it's about what the balance is. Because, I mean, if the balance is like plus 25% gun damage and you have people running around at the end of the season just like one-tapping people who just started, like that's going to be a problem. But I think identifying what parts can be improved about a character from a meta progression standpoint, but not so oppressive that like it's impossible for a newer player to interact with them, I think that'd be important. Like, think if you had plus 50% damage reduction, it's just like, okay, well, how are you ever supposed to win a firefight against that person? Like, it doesn't make sense.
As well. So that's your overriding goal, and you get to determine how you approach it. You could literally land, loot one location, and if you get lucky with some good materials or whatever, you may just want to haul ass out of there straight away. But maybe you want to stick it out, looting and killing as much as possible before the map's 25-minute timer runs out. This is a really important thing to note for people who are not used to this genre. You really do set the pace here. This is not like playing a battle royale game with a shrinking circle.
Is this about Marathon? Yeah, sorry. I forgot that I was live on Twitch. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, we're currently watching Marathon gameplay at the request of a viewer or suggestion of a viewer. And I don't normally farm React content, so that's what we're doing. It's Bungie, I expect absolutely horrendous balance. That's awesome. I fucking love that comment. It's so funny. So who knows? I don't know. I don't know their balancing team. I have no idea. Yeah, fucking based. So based. Awesome.
Leads to an inevitable conclusion, or a tactical shooter where it's all about quick rounds. This is a game where you set your own pace, playing as safe or as risky as you choose to.
I also want to mention that I think that this is an interesting game dynamic. So the fact that people can go into a map with different goals in mind, like, again, I just don't really play extraction shooters, so this could just be like the bog standard. But I do think it is very interesting that players would go in with different goals, basically, because then you can get people who show up at the start of the map, they see you, you're a player who's trying to get to the center of the map, you both look at each other and you're like, I'm not fucking with you, goodbye, right? And I think that's a very interesting gameplay dynamic because, I don't know, it's kind of unique. Could you imagine if there was like someone who went into a Monster Hunter hunt who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go hunt every other monster on the map. You go deal with that other target because we're just doing different things. You both look at each other in this, giving people a reason to not PvP each other in a PvP-centric game is just like interesting to me personally. If I remember correctly, Hunt Showdown, multiple goals you can do. Yeah, for sure. So even just having different objectives on the map, like, it leads to interesting gameplay dynamics.
And that does make it easier to learn.
Which, for the record, is also the reason why certain games of like Commander, for example, can become interesting. Because you have players who are like, I'm just trying to resolve this stupid ass combo that's going to kill one person. Right? And they're like, it changes the dynamic at the table. Maybe that's not the dynamic you want to play. Maybe you want everyone who's like going for the center all the time and having that be very focused. Like, maybe that makes the best experience, but I it just sounds interesting to me is all. You mean people don't have Unga Bunga brain and shoot everything that moves? Yeah, like, but specifically giving people a reason to, right? Giving people a reason to not need to do that, I think is really interesting because, like, you basically need to play mind reader with like the person you see, Or even like, let's say you have the opportunity to third party somebody and you're just like, I'm just looting. I'm good, man. Like, I'm just gonna go. I don't need to deal with this. Right? Why bother? You don't have to do anything. You're just farming some shit on the outskirts of the map. It's fine. So,
and then other competitive PvP experiences, since you can spend the first, dozen hours playing super safe before looking to up the intensity. All right, so the goal of looting and extracting is your overarching goal. But what are you doing moment to moment? Well, it kind of falls into 3 buckets. The first is fighting NPCs. This is one of the big differentiators that Marathon offers, really, since fights against NPCs are much more common here than in other extraction shooters I've played, with the exception of the Division's Dark Zone. Most major landmarks on a map will be patrolled by at least a squad or 2 of NPCs, and let me tell you, they are no joke. These things are not just bullet sponges or noise traps. The enemy AI on these NPCs is extremely good. I would kind of liken...
Yeah, and we mentioned this earlier, but like, if the, like, this could be the key part of the game that people care about, right? It sounds like what's kind of unique, right? They've brought attention to it multiple times. Like, if the encounters is really what's the fun part of this game, I say, like, they just double down on that shit and make it fun, right? Like, what would be the problem? I won't be getting any games until I hit HR 999. That's fair, man. I love Monster Hunter. And, like, we don't normally do React content on this channel. I just felt like doing something a little different today. So, we played some Monhun. We're still farming all of the fashion stuff. So, we're quite a ways off from finishing that, but...
them to playing against a fallen captain in a Destiny strike when playing on one of the harder difficulties. These NPCs often have very sophisticated movesets. They seek cover, they change elevation, they bum rush you when you're out of position, and they take absolutely no prisoners. Twice my squad was wiped by NPCs, which sounds utterly ridiculous until you go up against these guys yourself, and I guarantee you, you'll be like, these NPCs got hands.
Yeah, and I think this is really awesome because I think that, like, the development of making compelling NPC encounters, I think, is very, like, it's a lot harder than people think it is, right? Because if you think about it, if you just gave an NPC an aimbot and then had them do, like, a bajillion damage, like, you're fucked, right? But that's not a compelling experience. Like, these people are very, like, making a compelling PvE experience, like Monster Hunter, for example. That's a great example, actually. Like, it's hard, man. To, like, so when they change positions, that could be a good thing for them, that they can come to the conclusion, like, okay, they want to change positions to the top row to get a height advantage, and maybe that's, like, the calculus that they land on, or randomized moveset that they land on. But that also maybe gives you an opportunity with a sniper to shoot them because they don't have a shield up, right? So being able to plan for, or be like, I understand that I'm giving this move to this NPC to be able to shift positions that could be valuable to it or could not be valuable to it, so that there's, like, that gameplay there and it's not super OP. I'm always really impressed when I see that. Making it more PvE rather than PvP centric, then it seems way more approachable to casuals, which could give it an edge. Yeah, for sure. I was surprised how fast crafting every male and female armor set was. Yeah, I think in Monster Hunter, they heavily expedited the material grind. I'm just taking my time, honestly, so yeah.
The second bucket of things you'll do are various PvE activities. If you've played Destiny, these activities are very similar to patrol activities that you do when you're exploring the planets in free roam. For example, you'll trigger a supply shipment, and that'll throw up a big flare so that everyone in the nearby area knows that you're in that activity, and you'll now need to hold out until that drop is complete. Maybe no other players try to contest that spot and you get some free loot, but maybe they do and it's on like Donkey Kong. Another of these activities is one that involves finding various numbered panels tucked away across the map. When you activate the first one, you see a number, and then you need to find another panel that has the same number on it. That will then direct you to a different part of the map. You do that like 3 times, and then you get a nice loot payoff at the end. Right now, I don't think these activities are working. Some of them, particularly that numbered panel activity, are really tedious to complete, and you spend an inordinate amount of time kind of just looking for this panel, and it should be easy to find, and then you have to spend all this time schlepping across the map to do it all over again. I think the supply drops aren't.
Yeah, so I think that's really interesting because, like, they're saying basically that this system is not super compelling, and I'm inclined to agree. It's very likely that them playing it and their experience was not good, which is totally fair. However, I can see how that's the point of that system. The point of making that system to like go across the map and find these panels is to kind of like coerce interaction. So like you have someone who is on the east side of the map that found a numbered panel. You're on the west side of the map. You found your numbered panel. You guys are going to like potentially circle around each other and find each other based on that objective. So I think if they made that system good, like they made it easier or less tedious to complete that objective, I think the goal of the objective is good, and could be very compelling, basically. The Skinner box has not enough rewards, says the creature inside of it. But that's the thing. It's not about the rewards. It's not, again, that's the thing. It's not about, when they say tedious, I don't read that. Like, I don't hear that and say, oh, they're saying it's too tedious because it's not worth the loot at the end. What I hear is that it is too difficult to perform the action within what is reasonable for the rest of the system. So if I'm playing this game and I'm just like, I'm shooting enemies, I'm having these firefights, sometimes I'm PvPing against other players, and that's like relative, that's at a certain pace, that has a certain frequency, a certain oscillation to it. But then you're trying to find this panel, and that like just puts a huge halt to the gameplay, to the momentum of the gameplay. I think that's what they're talking about, right? I don't like this whole like reward at the end or Skinner box shit. Like, all of that design is trash. Like, if you are saying that your game is going to succeed to the degree that which you have balanced your Skinner box, you are like you are not in the right art form. Like, seriously. Like, really. I see 90% ignoring it anyways, but that's the thing. If it was more easily accessible, do you think people would do it? Right? It's about taking away the resistance so that people can engage with that system. And I think that would be, you know, I could see it working. And their complaint to me sounds more like there was friction to playing the game rather than it having to do with extrinsic rewards.
Aren't providing enough reward to get people really
Well, they said that it's not enough reward. So whatever. I'm stupid. I'm dumb as shit. My bad.
willing to contest them. There's another activity that involves calling down a high-level NPC who does.
But again, like, memes aside, I do actually think like it's somewhat likely, or I would be inclined to test if someone told me that. What if you made the system easier to engage with? Would people do it then?
Dies a little too quickly. Much of this can be smoothed out with some tinkering and tuning, but there's a bigger foundational issue related to all of these, and it's that you're spending so much time fighting NPCs and doing these activities that you spend less time fighting other players than you should be. And that neatly brings us to...
Okay, so again, like, expectation and stuff, but like, why should you be spending more time fighting players? Like, I don't know.
To the third bucket of stuff you're doing while playing Marathon. You're PvPing, fighting other squads of players, hoping to take them down so you can steal all their best stuff and extract with it. Now,
okay, so that's actually interesting. So what they're saying is that, like, focusing on getting rewards from players should be valued higher than fighting NPCs, and that doesn't appear to be the balance right now. So it's so interesting. I don't know. I really like these a lot. I've said before that I really like playtests. Like genuinely, I really like playtests because I like listening to people talk about their experience playing games, because it reveals a lot about their expectations and what they wanted. And then oftentimes, like, players who are very keen on what experience they want, like, it's not always that they'll be right about the solution, but they could be outlining something that's like, well, you're playing an extraction shooter. Of course you want to PvP people and take their shit. So, like, why is there that weird balance there? Right? The dream job of flies. You playtest interrogator. I don't know. I really like watching playtests, to be completely honest with you. Like, watching people play and engage with a game, like, the complaints that they have, the things that they find frustrating. Like, I really like that stuff. Hey, welcome, Spider-Man. Thank you so much. Welcome to House Lyria. So,
now, when these PvP showdowns happen, it's fucking awesome. One thing I haven't spoken about much yet is the fact that this is a Bungie shooter, which means it feels incredible to play. The shooting and movement mechanics are 11 out of 10. The weapon feel and recoil and the sound they make, 11 out of 10. When you have to fight other players in Marathon, it feels fantastic. And I think things like weapon DPS throughput, time to kill, and movement tech is all really well calibrated to arrive at an experience that feels tactical, but not overly punishing. This is not a game that's all about
that's super good, by the way. That's an amazing thing to hear. Because, like, that stuff is completely ethereal. Like, when you're balancing numbers and stuff, like, those things can be balanced, I think you could say, in a vacuum. Like, you could say, oh, time to kill is balanced in a vacuum. But until you have someone, like, actually, like, doing a firefight, and then you go, like, okay, that seemed to play out how we expected. You know, it's tough to say. So that's really good.
About one-shot kills, its combat pacing is far closer to Destiny, where that time to kill gives you a bit.
Sorry, wait, what? Hope there's a griefing section. Need some tips if far ever tries. What? No voice chat too. Have we strayed from the gods once more? No voice chat in this game? Is that like an expectation in extraction shooters? Again, genuine question. I just don't know.
Bit more breathing room during an engagement, and needless to say, the better geared you are, the more breathing room you'll have. But the problem is that right now, you are spending way too much time doing busy work on the map rather than fighting enemy players.
Yeah, again, so they say busy work, and it, like, I just think about the panel problem, right? It's like, doing those things, like, doing those tasks seem to not be at the pace of the rest of the game. So I would really think about how can you expedite those activities so that they flow better with the rest of it. So, and also because think about this panel thing. So I was already thinking about this when the panel got brought up, but the panel is like in a room. Like, why is it inside of a room? Right? It's probably there so that it can be a little bit safer. But it's not clear to me that, like, you want to, like, get in that room and get out. And also, because it's in a room sort of tucked off to the side, maybe there's some problems with, like, engaging with players, right? Like, you won't see someone actually get into the room. So, again, that doesn't, like, facilitate this flow of, like, actually encountering the other players, actually, like, fighting the NPCs and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe having a certain class for it. I would be cautious about giving people a specific role, because that can very easily lead to, well, someone needs to be that role so that they can do this thing that they didn't really want to do, but because the rewards are really high for it, we're encouraged to do it, and then, like, that's all, like, that's kind of lame, right? So put it in, like, a more easily contested area or, like, an open area, so that, like, you need to fight players in order to get to that thing. Like, you see someone go in, which, to be fair, again, it's a balance. If you just put it in completely the middle of nowhere in a shack, someone goes in there and then they get immediately ganked as soon as they leave. Like, again, that's also not very good. But maybe they, like, small building, multiple exits, multiple entrances, you know, couple of vantage points and stuff like that. So I don't know. The vibe I'm getting is that, like, it doesn't match the flow of the game. So I'd be curious to know if that's a level design problem. Because I could see it being a level design problem.
And so that tense extraction loop that Bungie are aiming for here, that loop isn't fully closed. This is when I want to start zooming out and talking about Marathon overall. I love this setting. I love this aesthetic. I love Bungie's core gameplay mechanics, and I love fighting other players in this game. The problem is that Bungie have not yet figured out a way to really force players into fights in Marathon. It has
yeah, exactly, which is exactly what I was saying. It's like it might be a level design thing to maybe get people into smaller areas that really like push people towards each other. Like, I'd be super curious about that.
Activities that should be doing that, but they kind of aren't. And there's so many of these activities and so many NPCs dotted on the map that a player can sometimes go an entire round without ever fighting another team. And on the one hand, yeah, that does make the game more accessible and welcoming to players not accustomed to this genre. But on the other hand, there's something missing at the core of Marathon, and until it's slotted into place...
I kind of wonder about this, by the way, is I do wonder if, like, if you go into the seasonal progression of this game, and then you end up, like, there are all of these things on the map, right? Like, this person's basically saying, well, it's possible that players don't interact with each other by the layout of the map. I do kind of wonder if, given more players, if, like, there be a certain sect of players who are, instead of trying to contest these objectives on the map, they actually focus harder on PvP. And, like, sure, there's a bunch of objectives on the map, but, like, you're going to those objectives so that you can, like, spank another player, dude. Like, you're not doing this panel bullshit. Like, you're finding the first panel so that you can triangulate what the route is to the other panel to gank the other people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's possible that that's, like, yeah, that's the reason why Chads and Rats exist. Exactly. So, like, I don't know. It could be a level design problem. Like, it could be a problem with, like, the way the objectives are themselves, like, literally step A, B, C. Maybe it just needs to be step A and B so that players, like, can catch the flow of the game better. Maybe it's just because, like, since it's not seasonal yet, that we don't have the full gamut of players that are purely there for PvP. Like, they're using their crazy gear to, like, gank people, right? Like, that they feel very safe doing their objectives on the outskirts of the map. So maybe it needs to be a little closer. Like, all of those things. I'd be curious about all of those things. So thank you for that, Pat. Unironically, a shooter where you need to solve puzzles like Talos Principle while avoiding time killing other players sounds kind of neat. Yeah, maybe. You remember the right gamut. Yeah, the gambit. In Stranova, they made a mode to protect the payload, and when your team turn is over, the other team gets to attack. Defend the panel stuff would work, maybe. Yeah, like, maybe an objective that's, instead of finding a panel and going point A to B, it's like protecting a point that moves. I like points that move because they open you to vulnerability by virtue of the thing moving. Because, like, first of all, if you see that a payload is moving at an objective, you know people are there. So that's, like, an interesting way to give information. And then the second thing is that, like, if you know that a payload is moving, then you might know where the opportunities to gank the other team that are there. Like, all of that stuff is kind of neat or interesting, so...
I don't think this game is going to find the audience it's chasing. I recall an interesting thing that Bungie said during a group Q&A session when someone asked why they weren't offering a solo queue option where everyone drops in solo. They said that when they tried that in the past, it would lead to everyone just playing really stealthily, not wanting to be the first to make noise so they wouldn't get targeted by everyone else. I thought that was a really telling response because it said a lot about how Bungie wants you to play Marathon. I don't think they want you to hunt other players as much as they want you doing activities that may see you collide with other players. But like,
yeah, and that's what that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying, is that, like, having objectives as a method to make players collide with each other is fundamentally good. Like, is a good idea. It's just maybe they don't have the right combination that they're looking for. Also, that I'd be really curious about the solo stuff. Like, why is that happening? Like, I don't know, man.
Like I said, those collisions aren't happening often enough right now. I think a lot about Hunt Showdown. Now, that is a game that has figured out
great
its
comparison.
loop. drop onto a map with another player, you hunt for clues that point you to the boss's location, you head to that location and set up for the boss, you fight the boss, making a huge amount of noise while doing so, while other players would have also had the same clues pointing to that location. Then when it's time to harvest the boss's essence, there's a great pillar of dark energy above the location, making you visible to the entire map. Then when it's time to extract that essence and escape the map, you are literally marked for all players to see so they can hunt you down or just be waiting for you at the extraction point.
Yeah, so, like, this is nitpicking, I think, about the way that they're using terminology, but, like, again, I think the idea of what they want to do with each of the objectives that, like, point you in a direction, like, they're obviously trying to do a lot of the same things. The problem is the mechanisms by which, like, the small mechanisms that allow players to do all of those things. So, like, the clues point you, like, look at the nuance of this. The clues point you to the same spot. Panels don't necessarily link up to the same panel in the middle, right? Or, like, go to the same place where the same bosses or whatever. There's side objectives. They don't necessarily point players 100% to the same place. Giant pillar of smoke. Even if you're behind on clues, you can see where the boss was. You can, like, think about where the extraction zone is. Literally, the players get marked. Like, at every point in this, they're saying loop, like, there are ways for all of the players to interact and engage with whatever stage the extraction is currently at, right? Like, you see the pillar of smoke, your mind is changing to, like, a different type of playstyle. You're like, I'm not farming clues anymore. I'm going to the pillar of smoke. Like, they're farming the essence. Like, there's going to be people that are vulnerable if it's close enough. Now they're extracting. They're literally marked. Like, there are mechanisms which assist the gameplay. I think they know what they want to happen, is sort of the nitpick that I'm making. I think they know what they want to happen, which is a lot of side objectives that you're allowed to engage with and kind of choose what, like, that PvE, more PvE style experience. It's just finding those, like, little mechanisms that help push players toward each other. So, like, who knows? Maybe if, like, maybe if you do a panel and then another player does a panel on the other side of the map, once the second panel has been selected, it's like an object that you have. So that player gets marked for you. So it's a finite panel that, like, okay, do I want to press this panel? I don't know. The other person's going to maybe taken it by now. Right? Which, again, marking players is a little bit like, that might just deter people from taking the panel in the first place. But again, thinking of some kind of mechanism that helps people go, like, we want these two players to collide. How can we have an extra assisted thing that helps them do that?
Hunt's extraction loop is so good that as I explain it to you now, I wish I was playing Hunt.
Yeah, which, again, I think it's less about the loop proper and the supporting mechanisms that help players engage with it. I don't know. It's nitpicking, honestly. Like, when I think about it, it's nitpicking. But, like, I just want to explain the nuance of why. Because there's a why there, and the why is really important. I think it's less about the actions or the goal of the loop. It's really the intricacies that are important.
Marathon does not have the equivalent of that yet. It has almost everything else it needs to be a successful extraction shooter, but it's missing that one thing. The loop is not yet closed. That's
again, fancy. Well, look at you with your fancy, or the loop isn't closed yet. Me speak very fancy. But I think that it needs a little bit more juice to support it. I think that's what they're kind of getting at. It makes sense to me. All the things that they said before I could see how that would lead you to the conclusion that, like, it just needs a little bit of help getting to those PvP firefights, like, maybe a little bit less time doing the objective stuff. Like, I think that all makes sense to me. I'm going to stop watching this. I think I got most of what, like, I get the gist of it. And I don't know, like, I didn't really have anything particularly negative to say about it, right? It looks cool. See, this is the tough part, is that, like, I can say things while it's happening, but I think the retrospective is kind of hard for me. It is so funny to me that like, at the very start, I'm like, but fuck this intro. Oh. I can't stand it when people use vague language that doesn't make any sense. Hope Bungie does the unthinkable and listens to their customers unlike other people. This feedback is too valuable to pass up. Yeah, and again, they said earlier on that supposedly the dev team behind this game is open to building the game with the players. So what that tells me is that they want to listen to feedback, and hopefully that's true, right? Like, I think a lot of times when people can describe a feeling accurately enough, not even necessarily accurately enough, but like just make it be aware. Like when that is described, people who like games go, that's very interesting. I want to do something about that. Like, I think that's the healthy feedback cycle of like, hey, we don't know how we feel about this. And then it's like, okay, that's interesting. Like, why, like, what's happening there? Like, where's the friction? And I think that if they're true by their word of like, we want to actually listen to players, I mean, that's good. That's good. It's good that they would do that. So, great. We're going to watch another video. They have Concord devs there. No Concord again? Maybe. Let me get the what was the video? The other video, Rance? The Hero X. Which one should I be watching? There's To Be Hero X official trailer, To Be Hero X official trailer 3. The bottom one has an anime girl on it. So I kind of want to watch the one with the anime girl on it. What's the call here? The one without the number. Okay. Let's get this up. Can we watch game trailers? I was gonna maybe just watch this, and I mean, like, guys, if we want to do more just like watching videos react, like, let me know, I guess. I don't know. I would kind of be interested in doing it more often. I just feel like I'm garbage at it, so don't feel super confident in doing it. So, all right, let's watch this. Nice. That was cool. Damn. The man is aura farming his way into relevancy. No, I really like that actually, because we talked about this, and it has happened in a couple of places that I want to mention. So this happened, I mean, it's a recurring theme, right? Is that like the power that we give things that we believe in is like that is a paradigm. Like, we talk about it in regard to like beliefs, religion, whatever, types of spirituality. And I really liked when this was done in the Theros lore because of, like, I guess the implementation of it I thought was really cool. Was Ajani. So they were on the plane of Theros, Ajani and Elspeth. Elspeth was basically tasked by one of the gods to slay another god using this like god-slaying spear, whatever. And then Heliod, the god who gave her the spear or sword or whatever, was basically like, right, that sword can vanquish gods. You need to die. And then they killed her. Or like sent her to the underworld or whatever. And sorry, I just read typical white-haired anime character behavior. Yeah, that's crazy. I guess that's like the current, that's what we're doing right now. We're just making white-haired anime guys who farm aura. So what happened at the end of that story, or the tail end of Theros, the first time it was around, was Ajani basically went around, because Elspeth died, and he was upset about that reasonably, basically went around trying to hamstring the belief of the gods to go like, we need to take power away from them. And he was like spreading like blasphemy effectively to try and undermine the power of the gods. So I always find this very interesting. Obviously, we have a strong culture of like supporting creators or like content creators, people, celebrities, like people that we care about. So I really like how that's taken very literally in this sense, right? Where it's like, no, literally, this man's farming aura actually for real. Like they're farming aura so that they can get superpowers, dude. So yeah, that looked super sweet. Animation looked killer. You should put a random X at the end of your stream title sometime. Cancelled mid-fight, all power's gone. Yeah, no, actually though, right? That's gonna be like crazy. Okay. Alright, so I should watch the other trailer too. Well, thank you, Rance. I appreciate all the support today. Alright, let's watch this other one. Yeah, yeah, they get canceled and they just die. That's so funny, man. Yeah, let's watch this one. So I just want to be mindful of the duration because again, I don't want to get to the end of a video and then all you see is like all of my recommended is like GG Marin. I would be too embarrassed. I would need to commit Sudoku. I want to be mindful. I just want to stop overworking to midnight. Fuck that. True. True. Man, I really appreciate the movement towards like aura farming. It's so good, man. It's literally just peak. Anime is just aura farming so hard, man. This man is only hot. He's also relatable. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, dude, I just want to stop working until midnight, man. Fucking get me out of here. I'm gonna snap. Get him. Get me out of here. Birth rate will become negative. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. That's cool. Characters are exciting. I like, I don't know. I like powerful, how would you say, like statements that are like, no, this is how I feel. This is where it comes from. I must protect. Big protect. I just want to fight justice cutely. I want to literally dumpster noobs, dude. Love that. It's good. It's good. They all look like a vibe. Sorry, the fucking demon guy, I think he looks like some kind of demon transformation or whatever. Like, I just want to dumpster losers. Like, hell yeah, dude. I just want to dumpster nerds. Get them out of here. Alrighty. So there's our react for today. Was there more to this trailer? Again, I paused it because I assumed this is the end, but there's like a little bit more. Just credits. After credit scene. Anything? 2025? No. Okay. Alrighty. I think that is that for today. That is it. That is the stream for today. We are going offline. It is it. I don't have any more music, unfortunately. Or not. I guess I could pull up the music. Who knows? But yeah. Hey, if you're still here, stream is canceled. We have no more power anymore. We got canceled, guys. It's fucking over. Yeah. Thank you again, everybody, for all the support today. I really appreciate it. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your support as always. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Bye.